What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday, October 29th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. A wild night Thursday. Man, I was looking really good there for a second. Still was a really profitable night, but I was 5-0 with a push. But so 6 bets, 5-0 with a push, and then had 2 bets left on the Canucks -1 and the Ducks -1. The Ducks came all the way back. The Nucks had a couple nice chances to score. I thought because I had them on the -1 line, I felt like I was going to at least push one of them. Canucks couldn't get the tying goal, and Trevor Zegras let me down. Defensively in overtime with the Ducks, the Sabres look good. I'm going to fade them again next game on this Western road trip, and this could just be blowing up in my face. But it was a very successful day. We were fortunate. Cashing that under in NFL. Very fortunate cashing under. Cashed the Packers very easily. That was great. Then in NBA, 2-0, which I needed badly. And I bet a little more on it because I was Friday's my in and out day. So I had a little bit of a risk there in that day with my local. So Jazz first half team total over, full game team total over. Shout out to Nutflush Allen. He put me on this breakdown of anytime anyone's playing the Houston Rockets, just take team total over. So it was a successful day. And it felt good. It got me pumped up for the weekend. And we got a great show for you guys today. It's Darryl is joining us to break down the NBA card. DJ Big Boss is joining us to break down the 2 Friday NCAA football games and give us his 3 best bets on Saturday. And he was awesome last time he was on the show. So strong. And I'm excited to work with him. He's seeing things very clearly. We got World Series Game 3 to pop off here. Very, very excited about all of this. Real Deal Prime in the house. Sammy Culmer, Epic Cappers. Dan Kelly says, how does a road team do when playing its second consecutive game at Staples after having won the first as a big dog? Does anyone have that data? Dan Kelly has that data. There's Maxwell Smart in the house. He has another premiere of the top 25 profitable betting teams in NCAA basketball tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern for another college show right there. And looks here, a 10-point teaser Saturday, FCS. He's got Nova, Jackson State, and Incarnate Word is my plan. I will copy and paste that right now to add to my study. I've made no moves on Saturday in NCAA football, and just over so many sports to cap, so much energy to put in. And I didn't make any moves last Saturday, too. I was focusing on NHL. Viper in the house. Ick Schnizzle. Fuck the bookie in the house. Gerald Jones. Michael Ervalina. Nuke Worker coming to us live from Darlington Nuclear. It says I'm on KC unders for the rest of the year. Says fuck the bookie. There's Ulysses Hayes in the house. Capalot Pops, Rob Garvey, 586 Soldier, Paco Healy, and Dan Kelly. Cavs money line and first half Cavs LA Lakers over 111. Wow, that's an interesting look. A very, very interesting look. Capalot Pops says I need advice. I have a 6-teamer waiting to be cashed out at FanDuel, but I only need Atlanta game under 8.5. Should I cash out or wait it out? Do you think the Braves game goes under? Why don't we break down that game in totality to give you a better idea instead of just giving it a one-line answer? We're going to open with that game, then NHL. So why don't we break that game down fully and then make a decision? I mean, you can also, hedge with a bet on the over, but we'll see if that all makes sense here. So we'll break that fully down. There's Nutflush Allen in the house. Mark Schillingberg ready to go to work. Leo Leon. Mr. Gokester, Bobby Boucher, Paco Healy, Lance DeRosa. Paco, Pete asked me straight up, are the Montreal Canadiens terrible? I'm like, no, they're not at all. Larry Garr, the rain did help for what we talked about, the over. I didn't bet it. I wish I had of. Cap bet it. I wish I had of. Mark Schlemberg says, love the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight. Elvis is in net. Always back Elvis and fade Corpy with Columbus. It's worked for me so far. I'm going to be on the other side. I really believe in this Rangers hockey team right now. So I'm going to be on the other side. Bobby Boucher says, don't worry about the start of the season. Odds makers have an advantage start of any sport. I don't know if they do. I always feel like we have the advantage in honesty, as long as you've been studying the offseason hard. 2 wins I needed badly. So, we're moving in the right direction. I'm not going to try to get it all back in one day. I Heavy, what a guy. I Heavy, respect. Thank you so much for your dono. Thank you for your support, my man. It means a ton to us. We're so proud to be a part of Pub Sports Radio. This is where we want to be, and we also want to give you the best content possible and ask for nothing in return other than capping with us and winning with us and finding angles and enjoying capping. And then we'd like to meet up at least once or twice a year and, drink heavy and gamble heavy. Craig, ready to go. Puzzler in the house. All right, let's get to work. Let's get to work right now. Right now. And Summers Are for Taint is in. Summers Are for Taint is in Georgia. Summers Are for Taint is in. Let me get that going. There's Sharon in the house. Serious business. Henry Dice. Baby Yoda. Slatsy says, can't wait to talk NHL 2-0 in NFL, 2-3 in NHL. On Caps, Canes, regulation parlay. I like both of them. Okay, where is that? Where is that? Summer. There it is, right there. Georgia minus 14. Summers Are for Taint is a combo pick with our very own Matty Ice, the Taint play of the day. And there's Cab, who is on it right there. Mr. Gover says Russian Walsh has Sturkin on the other side. Yeah, so maybe we break it down and find the under as a spot. Okay. And Dan Kelly says, no doubt the better has the advantage, if there is any at all, at the beginning of the season, simply because line makers don't have recent data yet. I agree with that completely. CT Bays in the house says, smash the like button. Thank you for saying that. All right, let's get to work, you guys. Let's go. So a 2-0 night in NBA. I kept it simple. Got to get out of this hole. Jazz first half team total over 56.5. Full game over team total over 115.5. Easy casher. Christopher Comtini says Troy plus 19 easy. I wish I went there with you guys. I wish we had more time to cap that NCAA football card. We don't have any show on after us today, so we can relax a little bit. Mr. Gokster getting in the right frame of mind. Sammy Comer on Braves first 5 money line minus 106. I thought quite a bit about that. I've made a play that I was sitting there staring at how to bet it, and we'll see. J-Dub NHL. There's no doubt about it. It's very simple for me. I beat NHL handily every year except last year. And, the bubble, the divisional hockey, there was some things. I ended up the regular season, I believe. I have to go back to my spreadsheets, but I believe I was just barely over. I think I finished the regular season just up a unit or unit and a half, and then in the playoffs I lost a little bit. There's Birdie in the house. Billy Friedrich says Canes most likely have Ranta versus Fleury, undefeated versus winless. Is this the trap? We'll talk all about it. So let's get to work right now. Oh, Corey Davis injured in practice, likely out for Sunday. Wow, CT Base says expect that Cincinnati New York Jet total to drop as a result. I'm already on the under. Okay, Chrisology says the Packers cash went ham on them, won DraftKings Fantasy too. Nice job. Okay, all right, let's get to work right now. So this is the schedule here. We're going to start with the MLB game. Jose's going to jump on the show and cap it with us. Then I'm going to break down NHL. Then we're going to have it's Darryl joining us for NBA. Then DJ Big Boss for NCAA football. We're going to close the show by capping the 2 games in CFL. By the way, I've won 5 straight in CFL. I'm 14-9 on the year, up 3.8 units, ROI plus 16.52%. But I have not made a move on this card as of yet. All right, let's welcome your first guest of the evening, or the morning, I should say, star of the show, producer of the show. Please welcome Jose Bouquet in the house. Jose, how are you, my friend?
I'm all right, Jim. A little bit of a stressful morning for me, but they're always stressful, and gotta love it. So moving, shaking. Got a fun show planned for us today.
Yeah, I'm excited about today's show. We have a montage playing at the end. We got lots of fun. It's going to be a really, really fun show. Let's get right after it because it all comes down to the work. We always start with the hard work. And you're right, capping. I believe we have 21 games on the card on today's show. It was a battle. I was up late and I was up early, but I feel good because the work is done. We start at 8:09 p.m. Eastern, World Series Game 3. We're tied at 1. Houston Astros at Atlanta Braves in Truist Park, Atlanta, Georgia. We have light rain, drizzle, 53 Fahrenheit, 8 miles per hour sideways right across the diamond. Luis Garcia going up against Ian Anderson. So I would like to just kind of quickly break down Luis Garcia and Ian Anderson. Let you know my bet, and there's two bets, and how I could have bet it. And then I want you to take over, Jose. So with Luis Garcia, actually, why don't we start with the market right now? Braves open up at minus 107. They're now minus 108. This total opened up juice to the under. It's now slightly juiced to the over at Pinnacle. It's pretty heavy juice to the over at other books, but not pretty heavy, but decent, but not at Pinnacle. Just very, very slightly over at Pinnacle. And then let's pop up the cash flow here. We have 5,762 tickets in. 57% of the money line tickets on the Braves, 66% of the cash. Then we have 55% of the tickets on the under and 76% of cash on the under. Okay, so Luis Garcia is on the bump. The first two things that jump out, okay, well, there's three giant notes. First off, obviously, he looked terrible in his first two starts in the playoffs. 3 2/3, 10 earned runs, 7 hits, 2 homers, 6 walks, 5 Ks. Jose talked about the difference that some of these Astro pitchers have looked like. He was using Framber Valdez as an example. And I'm curious to hear what he has to say about Luis Garcia, because in his last start, in front of Jose's very eyes while he was at the ballpark, he went 5 2/3, allowed a hit, a walk, struck out 7 in the game clincher for the ALCS championship in the pennant. So these are the spots that jump out at me. One, he was much worse on the road this year than he was at home. At home, he was 6-5 with a 2.39 ERA, 210 opponents batting average. On the road, 5-3, 4.24 ERA, 252 opponents batting average. The thing that jumps out at me the most, though, is his splits, righties versus lefties. Versus righties, he's very good, 182, 548 OPS. Versus lefties, 279, 814 OPS. And the Braves have a very dangerous 1-2-3 in Rosario, Freeman, and Albies lefty-lefty switch. Then it's possible that they only have righties after that, which I don't like, and I wish was different. And look, Cap says I played professional baseball, by the way. I haven't watched it in a few years because I couldn't after tearing my shoulder to shit, but now I'm gambling and watching it again. Wow, I didn't know that, Cap. That's very, very, very exciting. And Christopher Comentini says, went with you on Hurricanes, Jimmy. Easy. Taylor Hall. Yes. Rob McMahon says, listening in the hospital for my wife, bring me some good vibes, baggers. Rob McMahon, I'm so sorry to hear that. If you must be right beside your wife right now. We are thinking about her right now. Let's get everybody to send as much positivity and love over to Rob McMahon's wife, McMahon's family, and get you guys back home. Sorry to hear that you are in the hospital, but right now, we're sending you as much love and light and positivity as possible to get you home. Rob McMahon, thinking about you, and thank you for joining us. So we move over to Ian Anderson, 9-5, 3.58 ERA, 1.23 WHIP. I consider him a big game pitcher. In the 2001 or 2021 postseason, he started 3 games. He's 1-0 with a 2.25 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, 12 innings, 12 Ks, 4 walks. He pitched in Game 6 versus the Dodgers, which was a huge start. 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 Ks, and a 4-2 win. His splits are very similar. At home, 5-1, 3.52 ERA, 207 opponents batting average. On the road, 4-4, 3.63 ERA, 234 opponents batting average. The Astros are hitting righties much harder than the Braves are in the playoffs. Astros 255, 737. Braves 223, 638. We know they're smashing lefties, not hitting righties very hard. And both bullpens have been spectacular. With that full breakdown here, I want to back the Braves early. I'm afraid of the Astros offense. They scare me very much. I want those first 3 left-handed bats that are so hot right now to attack Luis Garcia early. So should I have just bet the Braves first inning at like plus 240 on the 3-way? You can't get it on the 2-way, and I would love the push to be involved, but instead I made probably a push-safe bet. And I took run in the first inning, yes, at minus 125. And then I took Braves to score first at plus 100. If I can get through that top half of the inning without the Astros scoring, I'm going to be very confident. If the Astros do score in that first inning, well, then I break even. it's a safe way of doing it, and that's how I decided to bet it this morning. So I'm on run in first inning, yes, at minus 125, and Braves to score first at plus 100. Jose, the floor is yours. You are running very hot in baseball right now. Great call on the d'Arnaud home run at plus 700. It wasn't an official pick. I wish it was, because it would look so good on your record. But what was an official pick was Cobb touchdown, anytime touchdown yesterday at plus 150. Scored 2 of them. A brilliant, sharp and successful, and you are looking good right now. So stay hot and tell us how you're going to bet Game 3 of the World Series.
Well, that's a good question, Jim. I'm leaning towards more the overs again. I like both these offenses. I like the first 5 over again. Honestly, I've been kind of riding that. Your run in the first inning bet has been hitting as well. Like I told you on the last show, I know this because I'm addicted to betting no run first inning, and I've been losing every time. So I know intimately that there have been runs scored in the first inning frequently this postseason. Now, I agree with you with what you said about Ian Anderson. I think he's a big game pitcher, but the issue is I think he might. I mean, short leash, very short leash. I think he'll probably goes 4 innings. I hope he goes 5, and even then, I'd be a little surprised. So I think maybe if you want to take a look, another risky play here would be a strikeout props. Right now, his is at 3.5. Astros are the team that strike out least in baseball, but Ian Anderson, good pitcher, got the stuff at home. I think he could potentially get you some strikeouts there. But I think my play, just got to go back to the well again. First 5 over 4.5 again. I think that I honestly think Luis Garcia was cheating when I was there. Respectfully, I think he was cheating. His spin rates are all up. You can go look on Baseball Savant right now. He threw harder than he literally ever has before, and he had more spin rate on all of his pitches, and not just like a slight tick, like 881, 200, 100, another 100 in all of his pitches. So I think you'll be able to tell early if Luis Garcia has his stuff. So I'll take the risk, or I'll take the chance that he doesn't have more adrenaline this time, and I think he gets touched up. So give me the first 5 over again, 4.5 for me on this one, Jim.
And this is a say hey play.
This is an official say hey play, yes.
Noli knows says not today.
Well, Noli also said that last time, so.
And he says he threw 97 in June. Robert Cherry in the house with the Pamper Pop play of the day. Is Braves first 5 minus a half. Going for a nice score there. What is the juice associated with? Oh, and Puzzler says Bet365 has a bottom first run, yes, at plus 195. I wish I had my action's in already, Puzzler, but I guess that slipped past me. I haven't done a ton of. And for me, for first inning is something that gives me a ton of anxiety, and I kind of try to stay away from. But I didn't realize that. What's the juice associated with that, Jose?
It's a minus 125. It's a little juicy, and if I lose it, I'm going to be pretty annoyed because that's going to submarine my record. But like I said, I think they get enough runs to cover it here. And last time out, it was covered in the second inning, no sweat, no problem at all. I saw you were on it as well. So I think we hopefully get another one of those today.
Sorry, did you say minus 125?
Yes.
Wow.
First 5 over, minus 125 on our friends at BetDog, Bodog, Bovado.
But Pinnacle's hanging to minus 112. So let's give you that right there. So Pinnacle opened juice to the under 4.5. It's now juice to the over 4.5. Let's give you that one right there.
And people, I think there might be a misconception because Minute Maid is like the best hitter park in baseball, over Fenway Park, over Yankee Stadium. They've got the short fields, the Crawford boxes. Jose Altuve eats on that, but I think that Atlanta is just as much of an over park and just as much of a pitcher or a hitter's park. So I think that we'll still get the over here, 4.5, and I hope it's pretty quickly. And I do like you were saying earlier. I like your run in the first inning because I play. I've literally played a no-run first inning about almost every other game in the postseason. I've lost every time, whether it be from an immediate home run from Jorge Soler or a double sac fly situation. It always seems to happen. So I like runs.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. Puzzler says Bet365 has a bottom first run, yes, at plus 195. I'd prefer, if I was going to make a move with that angle, I think I would prefer the bigger score at plus 240 for Braves to win the first inning. But so I'm look, it's a safe way of doing it, but I feel comfortable with it. Again, we're 7-5 in the playoffs right now. Let's go back to our MLB numbers.
While you're looking that up, Jim, by the way, I've lit a fire under everyone because I mentioned that Mr. Luis Garcia just happened to have his spin rates increase and throw harder than he ever has in his whole career. Noli says he threw 97 in June. Congratulations, threw 97 in June. He threw 97 plus 21 times in this one start, and he threw 97 plus 18 times in the whole season. So I'm not hearing that one. And again, you can change all of your mechanics all you want. You can't just magically add 200 RPMs to your fastballs and your off speeds. So I'll say game 2, he faked an injury to come out of the game, so then he can get enough warm up time for Jake Odorizzi. And in game 6, he obviously cheated. So whatever, we'll see. We will see if he's cheating again. I'm not bitter. I'm wearing my Red Sox stuff right now. I am not bitter, but we'll see if he's cheating again. And I think there's runs. There's a bunch of shit falling off of here, but I think he was cheating. Absolutely. There's not a doubt in my mind.
New Worker says the AL team loses DH in the NL ballpark. How will this affect Jordan Alvarez? Well, he'll play left field, and he will.
That'll suck. And that'll suck for them because he is terrible at defense.
It's a danger. It's a huge danger. And if you like offense, that's where you want him. That's where you want him. And Cab hit 96 when he started his first game on the Astros field in 91-92.
Well, wow. Cab, I've got the same shoulder you do, apparently, because my shoulder's fucked and elbow is too. But again, throwing 96 once, adrenaline. Throwing 96 more times than you ever have in your entire career, double it, is not adrenaline. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's just what it is.
All right. Jose's going to come back and join us for NHL. I think we'll see a different Jose then, but he's still angry. Look, and he's got every right to be angry. His Red Sox came very close, very close. There you have it. So Jose is on the first 5 over 4.5 at -112, available at -112. At Pinnacle, it's available at -125 at Bodog. I'm on the run first inning, yes, and now look. I understand that -125 is not good, and it was -130 in game 2, and I wouldn't take it there. And I also know that it's at -105 at some other books, and I'm getting screwed because of the situation I'm in. I get that. And I'm also on Braves to score first at +100. So that's my situation here. That is the game. DJ Big Boss in the house. Fat Wally ready to go. Mr. Jive Man. And they're getting laughs. You're getting laughs from people love to see you angry. And I do too. I enjoy it.
If they want to see me angry, just tune into the show because, like I said, I'm a little punchy today. I don't know. I didn't get enough sleep last night, staying up till like 4 a.m, doing research on this fucking hockey. And Jimmy, serious hockey is coming for you tonight. It's going to be a good time.
To our friends and family in the chat, I have said that if Jose wants to cap, he's 3-5 now. He's down over 2 units. And if he wants to cap NHL, he has to take it very seriously or he's not welcome to do it. And so here he's studying till 4 a.m. So I like hearing that. We're excited to see you on. So Jose will be back for NHL, which is right away. So, and it's the second game in NHL that he will be capping. So let's get right to work. We're going to move over to NHL right now. If you could pop my NHL record up, it was disappointing last night. Got that first win. I cashed the Hurricanes -1 at +129. And then I had the Avalanche up 4-2 on the -1 line. I was very confident that this was going to be a big night. The Blues scored late to make it 4-3. Avalanche didn't get the empty netter. That became a push. The Ducks were down 3-0, came back 3-3, went into overtime, and the Sabres scored with about a minute left. And the Ducks didn't really look that dangerous. But that was, other than the first 30 or 45 seconds, that was Buffalo's first chance. And then the Canucks looked lousy. So a -1 on the Canucks was a loser. So I 1-2 down 0.71 units. And disappointing. Very, very, very disappointing. But I've got 4 spots on today's card that I bet and that I like very, very much. So let's get rolling. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Florida Panthers 7-0 at Red Wings 4-2-1, 2-1-1 at home. We're at Little Caesars Arena, Detroit, Michigan. Spencer Knight expected against Alex Nedeljkovic. If I've got any of these wrong, please jump into the chat and let me know. Let me know if I've missed who is expected to start now. And Tyrone Coleman says, tell me you're rolling with UNLV, DJ Big Boss. He will be joining us. I can't wait to cap with DJ Big Boss today. So, look, we could talk about the goaltending stats and the special teams and what happened last night and the odds and the cash, and we should. But we should talk about Quenneville resigning first and foremost. And I don't want to spend too much time on it. Out of my love for the sport of hockey, I did watch the 30-minute Chris Beach interview, and it was really hard to watch, and it made me really angry. And that still kind of stuck with me. I was really angry last night. Angry that this kid had to go through this 11th round draft pick. It's a very confusing situation. You know, this guy, Aldrich, 5 feet tall, 145 pounds, abused, a first-round pick in the NHL. And, how that stuff happens, I mean, that's not for us, to debate or whatever. Another thing that's not up for debate is why the Blackhawks did nothing about it. And the whole team knew there were jokes kind of being thrown around. I mean, it just must have been devastating for Chris Beach. And now he's playing in the 3rd league in Germany. I mean, obviously it's messed his life up very bad, and it's very courageous of him to go forward and important for him to come forward. Quenneville did nothing. The second winningest coach in NHL history should be tarnished forever. You get Aldrich's fucking name off that cup or put X's over that fucking name, or I don't want to see that cup or touch that cup, the most revered mug in the history of sports. And then Kane and Taves coming out and supporting Bowman and McIsaac. Makes me so angry at them. I did think Quenneville said the right things. I don't know why Taves and Kane didn't say the right things afterwards. So it's just fucking awful. I've always been Kane and Taves, fans of Kane and Taves. I'm not anymore. I hope the Blackhawks lose and fucking lose. I feel real bad for Scotty Bowman to have his name tarnished by his son, because Scotty Bowman's an absolute legend and honorable man. And it's a tough story, man. Tough story. So Quenneville leaves. How are the Panthers going to handle it? Andrew Brunette, the assistant coach, he played 1,110 games in the NHL, 268 goals, 465 assists, 733 points. He was a -78. He wasn't this hard-nosed player, but that doesn't mean he can't think the game out really smart. So I don't know what to make of this Panthers team. I'm sitting here with a +450 division ticket in my pocket, and they're 7-0, and now they don't have Quenneville. Fuck, man, I don't know. So I'm staying off of this game. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play on Sunday is New England +4.5. That might get me on it. Leo Leon says, I just let the authorities do their job. I know I'll be in a bad mood and sick to my stomach for a while. Yeah, I think that everybody's culpable, and however that's going to, I don't know how that's all going to happen here. There's Dutch Boy Fresh in the house. Dutchy, great work yesterday. So let me just pop the spreadsheet play of the day in here right now. That is for the Patriots, making me want to make a move on the Patriots. Yeah, John Gilpatrick, it's tough, man. It's a really tough thing. And I know we've got so many games to cap, but it's by far the most important thing going on in sports right now. And Birdie says, I hear you, Jimmy, but if that's the stance, every name on every cup would have to come off. There are skeletons everywhere. Well, let's start taking them off the fucking cup. Let's stop turning our head and giving a blind eye to these horrible grievances. Let's take them all off the fucking cup. So, Nuclear says, why didn't Beach paste the guy's face to the wall? Look, I talked to my girlfriend about that as well. We got another Ron Crawford spreadsheet play coming in, UCLA plus 6.5. I mean, look, Aldrich is 5 foot tall, 145 pounds. And he's living a great life right now. And he's working with 19-year-old, 18-year-old men, young men. And so, his name, he's a sex offender, so his name and his address is on the registry. His office is on the registry. And he's going to have to be looking over his shoulder everywhere he goes for the rest of his life. Everywhere he goes for the rest of his life. And I guess that's just, and there are people who have been assaulted themselves, and they don't take too kindly to it happening again and again and again. And, he better fucking watch himself. People, he better look over his shoulder every second of every fucking day. Everywhere he fucking goes, he better look over his shoulder. Everywhere he goes for the rest of his fucking life. Fucking. Okay. So, I don't know how the Panthers are going to handle all this. Power play 19.2%, penalty killing 86.2%. I love the Sam Bennett pickup. I love the truculence he gives him. I've always been a Sam Reinhart fan. I was a huge fan of his dad, Paul. And I wish Griffin had been more successful. But, so with all that said and done, I'm just staying off of this game. And maybe that's, I don't know. So let's just move past it. And look, we're going to have to deal with it again when we talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets in New York, the Chicago Blackhawks. So we're going to have to talk about it again. So let's, we have Jose wanting to talk Blue Jackets Rangers. So we're going to skip that game right now. Move on to the Arizona Coyotes, Washington Capitals. And this, okay, look, this we try to put our heads in the sands in anything political. We don't want to talk about anything political, but this we can't, and it sucks and it's awful. So how do we change the energy of today's show? How do we change it from what's happened in the sport that we love so much to Chris Beach? How do we change the energy? I know how we change the energy. We have Jose Bouquet now taking this shit seriously, very seriously, with a hockey say hey play of the day. Please welcome to the show, Jose Bouquet.
How are you? How's it going? We got some hockey plays today, Jim. I just got done smoking a dart. How we doing?
Smoking the dart, eh? Nice. Nice. Columbus Blue Jackets at New York Rangers, Madison Square Garden, New York. New York is where you want to attack, Jose. And look, your outfit doesn't scream you're taking it seriously, but I believe that your breakdown will. There's Trevor Loudon in the house. Man, I miss you, Trev. Okay.
Trev, should have come on.
Paco Healy says a dart. Yes, that's what we call smokes up here. You're gonna smoke
I got a
dart.
pack of them in my fucking bag right now, Jim. What you talking about? We just fucking killed a moose, so we're gonna go skin him, eat him whole. Can't waste any part of the moose. It's gonna be a good time, Jim. You want to come to our moose bonfire?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do want to come to your moose bonfire. We have a very exciting game that you're breaking down here. Elvis Merzlikins in net against Igor Shesterkin. Merzlikins had to watch his best friend die right in front of him in the summer, and he's come in with a laser focus. 4-0-0, 1.47 goals against average, 952 save percentage. Shesterkin 3-1-1, 2.17 goals against average, 933 save percentage. Columbus with a 26.3% power play, very impressive. No Seth Jones there, but the power play rolling, 81% penalty killing. Rangers 11.5% power play, 78.3% penalty killing. Jackets come in off a 4-1 win at home versus the Stars. Rangers had their 4-game winning streak snapped in a 5-1 loss at home versus the Flames. If you look at my action in NHL today, I'm backing all these great hockey teams that are coming off bad losses that are angry, very, very angry. Ryan Reeves is doubtful for Friday's match. Not going to be in the lineup, lower body injury. Let's set this table here. In this spot, we have 60% of the tickets, 68% of the cash on the Rangers, 64% of tickets, 96% of cash on the over, which is crazy when you think of how strong these goalies have looked so far this year. And we have the let me move over to NHL here. We have the here we go. The Rangers opening up at minus 152. They're now at minus 184. And I got the Rangers on the minus one line at, let me move here quickly. I got them last night at minus 175 and plus 150. So I got a minus 110, minus one line. Jose, take it away. How are you getting paid here in this hockey game?
Well, Gokster likes to spoil my picks. I just almost wiped my eye. I can't do that. Jim, I'm going with the over 5.5 here. I'm following the money. Seems like I was, like I said, I was up last night looking around. I heard about our boy Elvis. I'm looking. The thing is that I'm looking at this power play percentage, Jim, and right now the Rangers are 28th, 11th. Come on, I think they're better than that. I think they're a better squad than that. They've got young offensive talent. I'm still a Capo Caco guy. I still believe in the name. I still believe in the defense, and he's a good guy. I think he'll get in there and I think he'll have a good career. I don't know about you, Jim. I'm not sure about your Capo Caco thoughts. But that being said, I think that this game goes over 5.5. The money's there for a reason. I'm glad I don't know where the money's going before these games because you don't tell me and I don't want to know. So I think that we get the over here. PK percentage for the Columbus Blue Jackets at 81% right now. That's power kill, sorry. 81%. That right now is good for 21st in the league. That's not good, Jim. We don't like that. We don't like that at all. I know it's still early sample size, but I think Elvis gets touched here. I think the other goalie, whose name I don't know, honestly, gets touched here today. I only know Elvis's name because his name's Elvis. But like I said, I think that the over hits. I think we get some good special teams. Soft hands. We'll cycle the puck, get in deep, and it's going to be a good time, Jim. After that, I'll join you. Me and you will go smoke some cigs.
They're darts. They're called darts.
We'll go smoke some darts. I'm sorry, unfortunately. And maybe we can talk about soft hands and man rockets.
Okay, grab a 2-4 and give her. Great job, Jose. You changed the vibe. You are a huge addition to our show at all times. I love working with you on the over 5.5. So this is the market's moving towards the under. The cash is moving on the over. Very, very tricky thing to figure out here. And our man Jose, dressed to impress and dressed to get the respect that he deserves in NHL. Again, if he goes down under 5 units, you'll never see him talk about NHL again on this show. So the stakes are high, baby.
Rightfully so. I mean, I do it all. I do all the hits, the hooks. Jim, actually, they call me Captain Hook because I just go for people's eyes. I go, I try to flick them out. I've got a little wrist flick too. I've got, Jim, also, my slap shot, venomous. Let me tell you. After I fix my toboggan today, Jim, I'm going to go out there on the ice, a nice fresh sheet on my backyard, obviously, and we're going to get it done. Me, my horses, and my toboggan. Especially my dogs. It's not sled dogs. I'm not rich. I don't have horses. Me and my pups.
Okay, thank you.
I hope everyone's ready to dress up behind me now. I've set the bar. I set the standard. And we're talking toboggans today, Jim. Maybe we should rename the Say Hey play to Talking Toboggans.
Okay. Well, you have all the power. Shout out to our man Jose Bouquet, changing the vibe and getting us rolling. Let's have a giant day and let's have a lot of fun. He's on the over 5.5. I'm on the Rangers -1. I love them sitting there angry about that 5-1 loss to the Flames. So I'm on the Rangers. He's on the over 5.5. Jose, God bless you. And we will. We're excited about getting the montage at the end of the day.
Yes, you will. There actually is one, and it'll be exciting. So thanks, Jim. I appreciate it. And maybe you'll see me again here soon. Maybe I'll have another hockey play. Who knows? Who knows anymore?
I fucking hope not. All right, we move on to the Arizona Coyotes at Washington Capitals. Same situation here. Well, it's different because the Coyotes are a historically bad hockey team. The Washington opened up. So one thing, we always see money lines move a ton for favorites, but we don't see a puck line move that much, right? And Washington opens up at -288. They're now at -307. So there's been a 19-cent move here. But I got the puck line for the Caps at minus 115 last night, which I thought was a fine price to pay for an angry Capital squad. That, granted, is missing Oshie and Backstrom, who are both week to week, but an angry Cap squad they were up 2-0 on the Red Wings, let the Red Wings back into it against the Coyotes team that's second half of a back-to-back without Zingle or Schmaltz. I just see this as a very bad hockey team that I want to take advantage of every chance I get. And I'm doing that here. So I'm on the Washington Capitals. Jared says, what is a toboggan? It's a good question. It is a sled. It's a sled. We go tobogganing here. New Corker says Arizona have to win a game eventually, right? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's teams they can beat. This isn't one of them, especially after a loss. No, that's a toque. Jared, you guys have beanies. We have toques. So Washington Capitals minus 1.5 is my next spot on the board. I got minus 115. That minus 1.5 right now, by the way, it's back down to minus 125. So it was minus 135. So it's come back. So that's interesting. Some people betting on Arizona to bounce back somewhat. So Caps come in losers at 2 or 3. They're not happy. They were up 2-0 before the Wings came back and Larkin scored the overtime winner. Samsonov expected to be in goal. He's not looked very good. Washington power play at 20%. Their penalty killing at 73.7%. Arizona's penalty killing has improved. They're now at 44.4%. What a trash hockey team. And Vamelka in for Rem saying, I just don't trust them. All right, let's move on to the Blackhawks, Carolina Hurricanes, PNC Arena, Raleigh, North Carolina. We've already said our piece on the sex assault situation hovering over the Blackhawks franchise. And their special teams have been very good this year, and they're still losing, which is shocking. 26.9% power play, 92% penalty killing. Johnny Taves came off the COVID list, but they still have Henrik Borgstrom, UR Kyra, Riley Stillman, and Patrick Kane all there. The Canes are on the second half of a back-to-back, but, I think that the hockey gods will help every team that plays the Blackhawks to punish, So Dennis Trusty says, when do you think Arizona gets a win? If I could look at the schedule, I could give you an idea of when I think that will happen. But Nino says, why aren't the Blackhawks bigger dogs? Antti Ranta's first start. What is he going to give you? Marc-Andre Fleury expected to bounce back, and Osby says Capitals have not won at home once. They're 2-0-3 at home. So they do have 2 wins. Rem most leaning to the over in this game. Here we go. Market move here. Carolina opening up at minus 188. They're now minus 192. It's a second half of a back-to-back. I don't think this is wrong here from a market standpoint. This is pretty much where I would set the line. Maybe Carolina minus 200 if you really believe in them, but I don't think on the second half back-to-back you can't really do that. This was a pick'em. The total at 6. It's now moved 6 cents towards the under. And if you want to know where the cash lies in this spot, 2,357 tickets in, 86% of the tickets on Carolina money line. We don't know what the cash flow is. 54% of tickets on the under. We don't know the cash flow there. Christopher Comentini says Felix Anderson in goal. No. No. You mean Frederick Anderson? And no. It's Antti Ranta getting his first start of the year. All right, let's move on here. We want to get into NBA. We have 2 more games on the card. So Carolina Hurricanes minus 1. I got the Hurricanes minus 1 at minus 124. Money line minus 180. Puck line at plus 130. I came very close to making these all puck lines. I decided just to stick with what I've done so far this year, and if I'm going to make a change, do it later. We are also on the Rangers on the minus 1 line. And the Caps on the puck line minus 1.5. All right, we have Ducks, Vegas, Golden Knights, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Ducks 2-4-1, 1-2-1 on the road. Knights 3-4-0, 1-3-0 at home. We're at T-Mobile. Gibson going to be in net. Really? Wasn't Gibson in net yesterday? It was Stolarz. Well, I should have known that. I was watching that fucking hockey game. Let me just get that quickly. Maybe somebody in the chat knows that already. Okay, Ron Crawford. Gibson is confirmed. Okay, so it was Stolarz in net last night. I didn't start watching it till it was 3-2 because I was watching the NFL game. So Anaheim power play 27.3%, penalty killing 82.1%. I expect them to have decent special teams this year. They have high high upside offensive talent. And then they have Ryan Getzlaf, who can win faceoffs and be in the right position. Vegas's power plays at 0%. That's going to change at some point. 81.3% penalty killing. Anaheim on the second half of a back-to-back. They've lost 5 straight games. Vegas snapped out of their 4-game losing streak in impressive fashion, sweeping a pair of road games on back-to-back nights, 3-1 at Colorado Tuesday, 3-2 at Dallas on Wednesday. But they're without Matthias Janmark, Nolan Patrick, Zach Whitecloud signs a big extension, big for term, not really for cash, just $2.5 million a year, but I believe it's for 6 years. Mark Stone, Max Pacioretty, Alex Tuck. They're missing a lot of key pieces, and but I don't want Anaheim on a back-to-back. If I had a free bet, I'd probably take Anaheim. This is Vegas' 3rd game in 4 nights, and they're depleted. But I do not like what I see from this Anaheim Ducks squad, and I don't want them on the road. And they seem like, they have so many young forwards that are very offensive. Seems like an easy team to play against right now. There has been a big move, though, towards the Ducks. There's been a 25-cent move towards the Ducks. Vegas has gone from minus 248 to minus 223. And I get it. 3rd game in 4 nights. We move over to the total here very quickly. And we have an 11-cent move to the under 5.5. So that is the situation. Okay. And Mr. Gokster on Anaheim first period. I like that. Billy Friedrich said Book's begging you to take the Ducks. Vital says 99% of money on the Ducks. Wow, they love the plus number. Wow, I don't have any Sports Insight hasn't put up the cash yet. So I guess it's just being counted at this point. Oh, no, it is. It's just up now, yeah. 38% of the tickets, 99% of the cash on the Ducks. There's only 1,727 tickets in, so big bet, obviously. Mike M says they're missing key pieces, but they keep winning. Jimmy, makes no sense. I wouldn't say they keep winning. They've won 2 straight. They're 3-4 on the year. So, this team has character. We know that. So they've shown that. Then the final game on the card is Senators at Dallas Stars. And are the Senators and Sabres going to be able to win games on the road? Are the Ducks going to be able to win games on the road? It's hard to win games on the road, and I'm on the Stars to win here. So Ottawa starting its first Western road trip of the year. They're 2-4 this year, so the record isn't great, but they played pretty well, and they're coming off a spirited 7-5 loss at home to Washington. It was their 3rd straight loss. They're rested. That was on Monday night. The Stars have lost 2 straight, coming off a 3-2 home loss at Vegas. And they're just not rolling right now. Ruby Hintz, I said all these great things about him before the season started, and he's done nothing so far this year. They just get Jason Robertson back. They get Blake Como there for their bottom 6. This is a team that's so deep, and Heiskanen is having a great start to the year. I do expect this team to be very good. Rem Mo says Holtby confirmed. He's been better than Khudobin so far this year. Viper says this total's gone under in $5 his last 5 games. Mr. Ghoster will be at the Bell Sens game versus the Marlies tonight. Back to Marlies, moneyline minus 115. Smooth smoke. AHL low-key moneymaker from Mr. Ghoster. Wow. CT Bay says Tyrod Taylor's not ready. Wow, that's got to bode well for my under. Wow, that's got to bode well for my under. Ooh, I like hearing that shit. Okay, so Osby says I'm taking a chance with the Sens reverse puck line. Eric Jones is on the under. Mr. Gokster's on the over. So a lot of different things going on here. Mr. Gokster says Forsberg is net. That's what we expected. So I've got 4 looks in NHL. Let's see what the market has done with this one here. So I got minus 117. I got minus 180 and plus 140. If I wanted to bet it right now, bet 365, I get minus 192 and plus 140. So not a big difference there. And if we look where the cash lies, we only know that 69% of tickets are on Dallas. And from a total standpoint, 41% of tickets are on the under, 96% of cash is on the under. Okay, Birdie says we will be head-to-head here. Jimmy Sens needed some rest. They will compete for 60 minutes. I'm on the Sens. Just going to let this line continue to climb. Dallas still not in game shape. I get what you're saying. Jason Robertson is a big piece to the puzzle. I like that he got a game under his belt. I like backing these teams that I believe are very good teams that are coming off losses. So head-to-head with Birdie, not something I'd like to be, but that's where we stand. Fat Wally says nothing better. Watching Jimmy having breakfast, horses this afternoon. If you're watching, press the like button. Thank you so much, Fat Wally, my man. Okay. And Gerald Jones says heavy steam on Vikings now minus 2.5. Yeah, a 5-point move from the opener at most books. Clearly inside information that Dak won't be in the lineup. And we'll be talking a lot about that. All right, let's move on to NBA. I'm very excited about bringing on our next guest. Made his debut last Friday and went 3-2 plus 0.8 units, but the record was not as important as the thoughtful analysis that your next guest gave us, the kind of analysis that we want more of, the kind of character that we want to be around, and we are now making that happen. Your next guest will be on our show every Friday right here, breaking down the NBA card. Please welcome to the show, Darryl Rice, AKA It's Darryl in the house.
Yo. What's up, man? What's going on with you, Jay? How you feeling?
I'm happy to see you, man. You put a smile on my face. I can't wait to cap this NBA card together. And I'm excited.
Yeah, man. I was looking at these numbers last night, and very, very interesting slate here. I think you're going to see some games. I think you're going to see some surprises tonight. That's all I'm going to say. You're going to see some surprises.
Let's see which spots we think there will be surprises. Doyle in the house says Darryl is money. Getting a lot of love from the chat. We're excited to have you as part of our Pub Hub squad. He will also be making guest appearances on our NBA shows. You're going to see more Darryl on this channel. We start with Orlando Magic at Toronto Raptors. I've made no moves in the NBA last night. Last night or this morning. So I'm fresh, ready to listen and ready to set a table for you. So I'll set a table for you and watch you rock. We're at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario. Both teams playing slowly. Orlando 26th in pace at 99.2 possessions a game. Toronto just behind them at 27th in pace, 98.90 possessions a game. We move over to the market. Here we have the Raptors were 8-point favorites last I checked. Yeah. And that's where they stand right now. So no movement there. A 5-cent move at Pinnacle. From a total standpoint, we have the total dropping fast. Wow, 210 it opens at. It's now at 206.5 at Pinnacle. When we check Sports Insights to see where the cash lies, we have 3,492 tickets in, 46% of the tickets on the Raptors, 62% of the cash, and then 66% of the tickets on the over and 89% of the cash on the over. So I guess people attacking it once it gets to its lowest spot. Quickly for Orlando, they come in off a 120-111 loss at home for Charlotte on Wednesday. They've lost 8 consecutive regular season meetings with the Raptors. They've lost 27 of their last 32 games with the Raptors. Cole Anthony led Orlando in that lost to Charlotte with 24 points. He's looking very good. Wendell Carter Jr., 20 and 10. Mo Bamba, 14 and 10. Terrence Ross comes back to Toronto, 18 points off the bench. And just quickly, Darryl, the guys who run with me know this, but I have a friend who, I had a bunch of friends that we used to work at the ACC, a bunch of friends and family. I knew, 10, 15 guys working at ACC. And one of the guys would make these mixtapes for the players.
Oh, you're telling your age now. We say mixtapes.
Yeah, you put it together mixtapes for the players, like of their highlights of their best stuff, and they put it to music and and players were really receptive. Some strange kid would come ahead of them and they would take it and they'd watch it. And my friend even had some of the players' moms say, "Thank you for making that tape of my sweetheart. He sent it to me," stuff like that. Terrence Ross wouldn't take it. Said, "I don't want it." Said, "You take your shot. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want that shit." And so I never liked Terrence Ross, and none of my friends did because he was such a dick. Etwan Moore, Michael Carter Williams, Chuma, Okiki, Markelle Fultz, Jonathan Isaac all out. Raptors coming off a very impressive 118-100 win at home over the Pacers on Wednesday. Got 26 points, the career best, 10 boards from Van Fleet. Anunoby, OG goes for 5 steals and 25 points. Gary Trent Jr., 12 points and 5 steals. Scotty Barnes, 18 points, 7 assists, 7 boards. Siakam expected to return in early November. Take it away, Darryl. Raptors in action.
Yeah, so when I looked at this game, I agreed with the line first and foremost, right? I think a lot of people are scared of that 8. I think they're scared of the 8 because of what Toronto has done in the past. So I can agree with the line. I believe the line is sharp, right? I do believe that this game is going to get out of hand for Orlando because of how well that Toronto is playing. Now, when we had spoken last week, I'd asked you, I'm like, hey, what's going on with Toronto? Right? I'd asked you that last week. And someone had mentioned in the comments, it's just one game. right? So this is what I looked at. I have to agree with that point. It is and was just one game. Toronto's going to get it together. I'm liking Gary Trent. I'm liking OG Anunoby. I am liking these players doing great. I'm still a fan of Boucher, right? I'm liking what these players are doing. What I saw when I looked back at earlier games is how well Toronto is doing in the first quarter. They are doing extremely well in the first quarter. And what I saw was a great opportunity to take them first quarter today. Now, don't get it twisted, man. Orlando's a bad fucking team. They put up a lot of points on Charlotte because technically Charlotte doesn't play the greatest defense. If you look at where these teams stand now, because of that Charlotte game, boosted Orlando's points up. So what I did was I looked at the numbers before Charlotte had played Orlando, and it is like night and day. So right now, this was crazy when I looked at it. Toronto played the Pacers, beat them first quarter 29-24. Played the Bulls, right? This is the Bulls, our champion Bulls, 24-24. Played Dallas. For what it's worth, Dallas is a good team with dogs. Beat them 25-18. Played Boston, tied them 23-23. Played the Wizards, and that was their only loss. It was 26-18, right? Looked at Orlando. Last game against Charlotte, first quarter, 31-31 tied. Now listen to this. Played against the Heat, 27-15. Played against New York, the game that they won. They still lost first quarter, 29-27. Played New York the first time in which they got their ass handed to them, 36-16, and then played their first game. They played 32-28. Orlando is not going to cover a first quarter spread against Toronto. They are not going to cover a first quarter spread or even get close to it. I do like Toronto first quarter. I believe that line was -2.5. I took it earlier in the morning. I'm going to stick by that. I came really close to playing an alt line only because their average score right now, their average opponents, the average opponent scoring against Orlando is 31 points. The average opponent scoring against Toronto is 23. I'll take that all day. So my first official play is Toronto first quarter -2.5.
I think that is a very sharp look. Everything backs it up. My only fear, and I think we can put possibly a line through my only fear, is just that they're coming off of 118-point victory and feeling good about themselves. Do you think the fact that they're 2-3 on the season and that was just their first home victory, that Nurse will keep them hungry?
Yeah, well, this is a homestand already. I think if anything, it gave them more rhythm. They could run their actions, right? You saw a lot of double stagger. They're running kind of like the Horns. The Horns, you'll see a Horns pen down and a Horns chase, but they're still doing a lot of pick and rolls as well. So I do like the actions they're running. And don't get it twisted, man. Orlando starts off very slow. Very, very slow. So the reason why these numbers are kind of jarring here, if you will, is because they scored 31 points against a team who doesn't play defense. But all in all, the proof is in the pudding. If Toronto, they're going to do one of two things. Either it's going to be kept close or they're going to blow them out. Bottom line, first quarter. Now, that's why I only touched the first quarter and not the full game per se, because for what it's worth, you can't stand his ass. The Human Torch, he can light it up, right? He can light it up at any given time. I believe the game that they had won, he had 22 points in the fourth fucking quarter. Out of the 36 points that was made for that fourth quarter, right? So that any given time they can light it up. But as far as tempo and controlling the pace, there isn't anything about Orlando in the first quarter that's telling me that they can get it done against a team who has good defense.
I love it. I love it. I think this is a great look. Noli knows DJ Big Boss coming in for NCAA football. So you did not miss the boss. I love this look. Raptors first quarter -2.5, -111. I am very, very interested in tailing it. Let's move on to the next spot, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Indiana Pacers 1-4, 0-3 on the road at Brooklyn Nets, 2-3, 1-2 at home. Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. The Pacers pace 22nd in the NBA, 100.13 possessions a game. Brooklyn 11th at 101.3 possessions a game. Pacers coming in off a disappointing loss that we talked about at Toronto on Wednesday night, 23 turnovers. Indiana has 4 losses in its first 5 games. Worst starts in 2014-15. Malcolm Brogdon, sore left hamstring. So he is out. He will not be in the lineup here. That's a big loss. Sabonis always looking good coming off a big game. LeVert appears to be close to a return. We thought that he was going to play on Wednesday against the Raptors. He did not. Nets come in off an ugly 106-93 loss at home to the Heat on Wednesday night. Gave up 48 points in the paint. 31 second chance points, out-rebounded 62-42, allowed 17 offensive boards. Those old men in the paint aren't doing the job. And why would they? Aldridge was averaging under 2 rebounds a game when he was in San Antonio. It was dry. It was just wild. Blake Griffin hadn't dunked in years before he came over. I mean, these guys are, washed up, man. Harden averaging 16.6 points, 8 assists, 7 boards, shooting 35.9% from the field, 33.3% from 3. Doesn't sound confident, and he explains it. Like he gets the hamstring injury and second hamstring injury, and he said he had no opportunities to play any pickup or nothing this summer. Everything was rehab. It was a grade 2 injury that happened 3 times in one season. On Wednesday, he was held to 14 points on 4-12 shooting. Let's set the market for Darryl and watch him roll here. Full game. Sorry, I'm still on first half. Full game here. Brooklyn opens up as 8.5-point favorites. His total 222 goes to 223. Interestingly enough, for an 8.5-point spread, the first quarter is at 3. So obviously expecting an early bounce back from that poor performance. And then 3,366 tickets in. 66% of the tickets and 82% of the cash on the Pacers, and 70% of tickets and just 36% of cash on the over. So big bets coming in on the Pacers and the under. Darryl, take it away.
Yeah, as it should, right? So I have no official play on this game at all. And the reason why, personally, is because you have 2 teams and a tale of 2 halves, right? So I looked at an angle of maybe a first half over total, because I think the first half is 114 for the total, right? If you look at their averages in the first half, the Pacers are number 1 in first half scoring at an average of 61 points, right? Brooklyn's not too far behind there. I believe they have 56 points. You add their averages together and you get 117. So you'll clearly go over the 114. The problem that I have with this team is now you don't have Brogdon. And it kind of would have been an instant fade or an immediate fade, provided Karras comes back, with the whole verbiage. You always fade the team, the star player comes back, right? But there's no Karras there as well. So to me, an angle would be looking at the first half over because of how well these guys play in the first half and how they just stink it up in the second half. This is where they lose their games. Do you know who the bottom 2 teams and the average second half scoring is? These two fucking teams. So the Pacers are number 1 in first half scoring and in the bottom 2 of second half scoring. So it's not something that I could. This is what you would call a fucking coin flip at this point, bro. This is a fucking coin flip if I haven't seen one. The line I saw had opened up at -9.5 and it got bet down to -8. I think a lot of people are banking that Brooklyn's just going to fall apart again second half. But do you know who else falls apart in the second fucking half? Indy falls apart in the second half. You saw that as clear as day. So I don't know if it's fucking Carlisle, if he's got some bad juju on him right now. I'm not sure what's going on. But my main the reason why I stay away is because you don't have Brogdon there that's going to control the pace. I mean, Miles Turner gave you a fucking 40 burger and you still lose. Sabonis gives you 33 fucking points and you still lose, bro. You still lose. So I don't see any value in this number whatsoever. I just think it would be a coin flip. You don't have Nick Claxton in, so now you can't run a good pick and roll. To your point, these veterans, man, are past their prime. They are regressing at a speedy pace. You got Aldridge looking flat-footed. You've got Blake Griffin, who doesn't seem like he wants to crash any boards and grab boards. I mean, he's still shooting the 3 when he wants to, but these guys have regressed severely. So now that you don't have Claxton in there, you don't have Harden, who could easily run the pick and roll and throw the lob. And what did I tell you, Jimmy? What did I fucking tell you about some of these guards who were going to have a harder time adjusting to the new offensive rule. I told you, and we're going to talk about this all season ad nauseum until this shit is fixed. Guards that would have a problem is James Harden, Booker, Chris Paul, Trae Young, and possibly Steph Curry. Look at what Trae Young is doing right now. He can't put his players in jail. Look at what James Harden's doing right now. You got the fucking head coach talking about this shit. You got Steve Nash saying that they're not calling the fouls. For whatever reason, he cannot get out of this style of gameplay to where he's either trying to hook people or draw the foul. And it's not working for Brooklyn right now. Like I said last week, they need Kyrie. And so at this point here, it's a no play for me. My only angle would be maybe some prop plays on this game if there is some value there, or looking at the first half over 114.
Yeah, that first half over is very interesting. Very interesting, but I can completely understand the breakdown and why you are staying off in this spot. I love the breakdown. Mally Mal is on the Nets first half, says situational spot. Vitalis says, remember to keep your eye on the Pacers third quarter. They haven't covered one this season, which correlates with exactly what Darryl was saying. Viper MB says, Indiana 6-1 against the spread in the last 7 games when playing on the road against Brooklyn. Matt Paulin says, Nets 5-0 to the under this year, and it hasn't even been close. They've all gone way under. Seamus says, Jimmy, has the line moved from the opener. The Pinnacle opener was -8.5, -105. So there's been a 2-cent move towards Brooklyn, just a 2-cent move. Dan Kelly says they're not calling the fouls because it is no longer a foul, and it's great. I think it helps.
That's right. I mean, it's a good fucking thing. I'm definitely not complaining about it, but you can see that it's harder for some players to adjust to this than others.
Christopher Carter says Harden DL stint upcoming, probably by 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. I love it. And Dennis says the NBA being called beautifully. I agree. Ray Charles on the KD rebounds over 7.5. It's at -138, but you can get it at alternate rebounds 8.5 to get rid of that juice. Viper MB says loving that new rule. I'm going to put that first half over as just a possibility here, but I'm going to put some question marks beside it. All right, let's keep rolling.
A lot of goddamn question marks on, man. I swear to God.
let's keep rolling. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Charlotte Hornets 4-1, 3-0 on the road at Miami Heat, 3-1, 2-0 at home. FTX Arena, Miami, Florida. Charlotte, 4th in pace right now, 103.84 possessions a game, while Miami 17th at 100.75 possessions a game. Hornets lead the NBA in scoring coming into yesterday, 121.2 points per game, coming off their 3rd straight win, 121-11 at Orlando on Wednesday night. Miles Bridges averaging 26.2 points per game, 11.2 more than his than he averaged last year. We had our guy. Sorry, it's my son looking for titty. He'll find it. He'll find it. Yeah, he's good at it. So we had Trotwam give out the Bridges over 19.5 points. He goes for 31 and cashes easily, and everything's up for Bridges. I mean, he's just.
It's a contract year, Jay. It's a contract year. He's playing for the bag. So I wouldn't be surprised if he drops 30 every night.
Yeah,
at least at the end of the month.
He's going to get that bag the way he's playing. At least 30 points in 3 of his last 4 games. Hornets are 2nd in 3-point percentage at 41.3, hitting 13.8 per game. LaMelo, 19.6 points, 6 assists. Hayward, 18.4 points, 5.2 assists. Kelly Oubre, 14.2 points. Mason Plumlee, 9.2 points, 10.2 boards. Adding Oubre and Plumlee has changed the look of this basketball team. And no Scary Terry. And
he's not that scary.
They're hoping to have him in the lineup tonight, and I wonder how it will affect the rhythm. PJ Washington has missed 2 games with a sprained right knee. He is doubtful. He coming off their 2nd straight win, 106-93 at Brooklyn. Kyle Lowry, 7.7 assists per game, but he's only averaging 7.7 points. He's hitting 17.6% from 3, 29.6% from the field. Butler, 23.3, Hero, 21, Bam, 19.3 and 12.8 boards. They're playing very tough on the perimeter. Opponents hitting just 27.2% from 3 and allowing 41.7. He were also allowing 40. I don't know what I wrote there, but limiting opponents to 27.2% is very impressive. Okay, let's set this market up here. Miami opening up as 6-point favorites. That moves to 5. Mm-hmm. This total goes from 221.5 to 223, and then we have the 3,101 tickets in. 46% of the tickets on the Heat, 61% of the cash, and 43% of tickets on the under, 56% cash there. Take it away, Joe.
Yeah, honestly, I was talking about this with my partner, and I think I even mentioned in one of the rooms I was in talking ball Miami is getting up for teams that are good. Bottom line, they smacked the shit out of Milwaukee, right? They smacked the shit out of Brooklyn. And for what it's worth, they really smacked the shit out of Cleveland. Cleveland thinking they're tough shit with their two young guards that I like, Darius Garland and Colin Sexton. I honestly believe right now Charlotte has a target on their shoulder or on their back right now. And it's one of those things to where Miami is really going to show them what a good team looks like. Now, when I looked at some numbers here, Miami's like top 5 in all your defensive stats. And for what it's worth, I think this will be the toughest team they play defensively. And I believe that Charlotte is in a position to where they're going to have a reality check on what the game is really like. You played Orlando, that's fine. I get it. You know, they don't have any fucking defense whatsoever. You played Brooklyn, what it's worth. You know, I don't know what's going on with Brooklyn there. And I've gotten the team. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong teams. It wasn't Cleveland. That was on the Charlotte side. So you're playing teams, in my opinion, that does not even come close to what Miami has whatsoever. So my only looking advantage here that I saw is this game could be, you know, Charlotte isn't a great start team, but you can have a little bit of momentum from that Orlando win, which, by the way, I mean, Orlando kept up with them that entire game. It got away in the fourth quarter. I mean, Orlando was up in the third quarter, and it just got away in the fourth quarter. So that is a good win. And what it tells me is that Charlotte themselves are still a good second half team. A good second half team. So if you have key players out, I don't know if Kyle Lowry's out. If Adebayo is out, that's a huge issue. But at the same token, I do like the way Dedmon is playing defense. I really do. He is a rim protector, and he's doing a good job in the paint. So you got enough set pieces in Miami where they could slap the shit out of Charlotte, but I couldn't get there with the line. I do believe what happens here is that Charlotte starts off slow, Miami gets ahead, and then Charlotte comes back in the second half when the legs are gone and tired on Miami's end. Because if Lowry's out, then you're expecting Butler to do a lot more and have a lot more responsibilities. And so this game here, I looked at the over total. 221.5 is where I got it. I believe it's now at 222. I do believe this game goes over because you have Charlotte being the number one team. They average the most points in a game, I believe, at like 121. And then Miami's at 110. So that gives you 231 right there. That gives me 11 more points or 10 more than what the books are offering. And I'm willing to take that bet. So I do like the total over on this game at 222. I do have if Bam is in, oh God, you're going to see some serious defense happening in the first half. But Charlotte does come alive for whatever reason. I don't know if they just give them steroids or if they just be doing some fucking cocaine at halftime. I don't know what it is. They do come alive. So the only advantage I see here is for this whole game to go over. 220 is where I got it. I don't know what you have now.
You can get 222 right now. It's available at Bet365 at 222. Other books have moved it to 223. I went to make sure that it wasn't a stale line. I clicked on it. It's available right now as we speak. Okay. So I can give you that for an official pick. This makes a ton of sense here. Great call on the fact that Charlotte is a division rival and they're making noise. Mm-hmm. And Miami Heat will want to put an end to that noise.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
Heat first half is very interesting. I guess at this point, have to decide whether or not you want Bam to know if Bam is going to be in the lineup or not. I guess that's the issue. Do you want to know that Bam is? Is that? So I don't know.
I mean, Bam is gonna what? That's a 20-10 guy, easy, right? Against Charlotte, who's allowing the most fucking point. I mean, Charlotte doesn't really play defense. You look at the numbers, they're not the best defensive team. These guys are just fast-paced, and for whatever reason, they come alive second half. They can get it done. Now, the only thing that gives me cause for pause, Jay, and the reason why I didn't move on the spread really is because LaMelo is dynamite, man. This guy is really, really fucking good, you know? So I don't know if Miami's tired in the late third and the fourth, and this game is kind of close. If LaMelo can just take charge of the game, you have Hayward. I don't give a fuck about Terry. I don't give two fucking shits about Terry. You know, you don't really need Terry. People might say you do. I don't really care. I'm a Devontae Graham fan anyways. So fuck him. You don't need him. But that second half could get away from Miami if they miss some assignments, if they don't lock down on this defense, or if Borrego makes these adjustments second half and they come out on fire. So I do like the over.
I would want, if I'm going to back Miami, I want Terry announced in. I think that he'll mess up the rhythm. They've been very comfortable with what's going on so far in the first 5 games, and he'll want the ball. I mean, he's a guy who wants the ball. So,
but he's not the star player, Jay. He's not the fucking star player. So you can't use that instant fake. I mean, maybe that's just my own bias, bro. There's nothing about Terry that scares me whatsoever. Nothing. If you got Hayward on there, and if you got LaMelo, which you do, you're solid. You solid, man. And the way Miles Bridges is playing right now is unbe-fucking-leavable. You don't even need PJ out there right now. So
right. Yeah. I love it. Dutchie says if Lowry's out there, Melo's in trouble. Pitbull versus a puppy. Pitbull versus a puppy. Dennis Garcia says if Miami puts an end to Charlotte, it'll be stopping Charlotte's offense. So he thinks the under. He says Bam means I'll wait. Bam in, I'll take the under. I love the breakdown. We have Darryl on the over 222 minus 110. I need to see if Terry's in, if Bam's in. I need that, but I can completely understand the look. All right, let's move on. We have Darryl on 2 spots so far. We have him looking at the Raptors first quarter minus 2.5 and minus 111. Then we have him on the full game over 222 in Hornets Heat. Next up, we have Sacramento Kings at New Orleans Pelicans. Smoothie King Center in New Orleans, Louisiana. The Kings 2-2, 2-0 on the road. Pelicans 1-4, 0-2 at home. And Jay Peasy comes in and says, I got 5 in the Bleezy for Dutch and that Knicks pick. Jay Peasy, thank you, my man. Respect and thank you for your support. And so glad to hear that you were eating with the Knicks. Great call by our Dutchie. Got tight there. Got fucking tight there. But they took care of business. Sacramento 8th in pace at 102.63 possessions a game. Oh, by the way, very quickly, and I don't want to pass it. It was sweet. Ian Cameron comes up, says, "What's up, everyone?" And says, "Congrats, Darryl, on being the Friday NBA guest every week on this show." And says, "Welcome to the fam." That's from our Babano, Ian Cameron, the host.
Appreciate you, Babano. Appreciate you. When am I going to see Babano? No, we'll talk about it later. Babano doesn't. Yeah, we'll talk about it later because he needs some black taints too.
He does need some black taints too. He does. And you should, when you get to hang out with Babano, get him drinking. He freestyles, man. He's got flow. He's got flow. Okay, Sacramento snapped their 2-game losing streak on Wednesday with an impressive 110-107 win at Phoenix on Wednesday night. Harrison Barnes hit that 3 at the buzzer to put, for those of you who were on Wham's, 3-point over 2. Some of you guys were on the 1.5 juice, so it was a casher. It was fun to see that go in. Nola lost 102-99 at home to the Hawks on Wednesday night. Pelicans had just 11 turnovers and lost. And why? Wow. Why? Out-rebounded by Atlanta 55-44. What else? They gave up 21 offensive rebounds. Devontae Graham scored a team-high 21. Josh Hart still questionable with the right quad injury. Garrett Temple and Zion Williamson out. Let's set this table here. We have Sacramento opening up at -2. They're now 1.5. This total opened up at 219.5. It's now at 221. And when we go to the cash flow in this spot, 4,047 tickets in. 73% of tickets on Sacramento, 82% of cash. 72% of tickets on the over, 90% of cash on the over. Take it away, my man.
Yeah, so looking at this game, I don't have an official play here, but I probably might get there. It's a tale of 2 teams as well. I believe the true value with this is also Sacramento on the over. Sacramento first half. And this is the reason why I say that. There's teams that's pretty slow. They're very low scoring. But when you look at the numbers, Sacramento turns it on second quarter, bro. They turn on the gas second quarter, and it's a difference of about 10 points between these 2 teams in the second quarter. With me, I believe you've got a better lineup in Sacramento. You've got Rashawn Holmes, you got Mo Harkless, you got Harrison Barnes, you got Halliburton. For what it's worth, I was really high on Halliburton, right? So you're not hearing his name a lot, only because you got old man Barnes out here shooting fucking threes. So my play and my lean, it's not official. I might get there even before the end of this segment, but I'm looking at Sacramento first half, which I believe is probably a -0.5 a point or -1.
Yeah, let's find out what it is right now. Sacramento is a -0.5 at +101, which begs the question, what's the money line? The money line is -108 at Pinnacle.
Yeah, see, I'll think about that, but I'm thinking about pushing the button because Sacramento is a second quarter team. Now, here's another thing I realized too. These two teams playing will probably be the easiest matchup they've had all season so far, right? If you look at their last games, you have New Orleans playing Atlanta, Minnesota twice. For what it's worth, Minnesota's a great team, right? They just got to get shit together, but they're still a great team. They play Chicago and Philly. Sacramento has just ran across the board on the West Coast. They played Lakers, Portland, Utah, Golden State, and Phoenix, right? These are some tough teams here. So if I'm thinking about the matchup, this will probably be the easiest matchup Sacramento has had all season thus far. And the same for New Orleans. Maybe New Orleans having it. Maybe you can kind of put Minnesota in that lower echelon. But I do believe, for the most part, this is the easiest matchup Sacramento is going to have had. So for here, it will be a first half play on the Kings. I haven't got there just yet. You give me about 45 seconds to think about it, and I probably might push the button on Kings first half.
Very interesting breakdown. Dutchy says Kings or nothing for me. Pelicans damn near an auto fade. Don't Panic R says, where's Connor Mack being? Connor Mack will be hosting our NCAA basketball show daily here with Maxwell Smart. And we're so excited about that show. So it's just like a brief reprieve. He's still starring in the MLB baseball show, but C-Mac is a huge part of our channel. We love him very, very much. So don't, just because he's moved from NBA with Babano to the NCAA basketball with Max. That's the only reason. So you're going to see a ton of him. That show is going to be, by the way, before tip-off. Like I think it's around 5 o'clock, might be at 6 o'clock. It's going to be after the NBA show. So we're going to have the NBA show and then the NCAA show back to back for the next 4 months. So it's going to be all basketball all the time here at Pub Sports Radio. So our man C-Mac is beloved here. Don't worry about that. Okay, so possible move for Kings first half by Darryl. He's got the rest of the show to flick it over, so don't worry, no rush there. Let's move to 10 p.m. Eastern. Dallas Mavericks 3-1, 1-1 on the road at Denver Nuggets 2-2, 1-1 at home. Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Dallas Mavericks paced 25th in the NBA, 99.5 possessions a game. Denver 18th, 100.63 possessions a game. Mavericks are on the second half of a back-to-back after winning their third straight game last night, 104-99 at home over the Spurs. No KP. He was out with a sore back. Also no Trey Burke. COVID protocols. It was a very strange game with wild swings. 9 guys were played. 7 of the 9 went for 25 or more minutes. They all played at least 14 minutes. Reggie Bullock stepped into that starting spot, 7 points in 30 minutes. Brunson for 19, Kleber 12, Ntilikina 6, Cauley Stein 4. Nuggets come in off their second straight loss, 122-110 at Utah on Tuesday night. Jokic sustained that bruised right knee. I guess, we think. He was held out of practice on Thursday. They said it's not serious. Denver's reserves came in and put up 96. They looked good until the fourth quarter when things changed very quickly. And by watching that fourth quarter, because I had the Canucks home opener on the one channel, then I was cheering on because it was Ski going for the 5-0 sweep. And watching that fourth quarter and watching them, I was like, oh, shit, I'm going to take their team total overs against Houston. That fourth quarter, they just looked so in rhythm. They looked so smooth. I was like, it's happening. And for whatever reason, I seem to get that from them a lot on the road. It feels like they like making statements in other barns, whereas at home they can come out a little sloppy or a little comfortable or whatever it is. So let's go here. We have I'm on first half. Let's go to full game here in the Denver spot. We have, I'm on money line. Here we go. Spreads and totals right now. Denver opening up at -2. That was at +102. So it's moved to 1.5, which was expected. This total has dropped 3 points from 218.5 to 215.5. And in the cash flow side of things, we have 2,938 tickets in. 73% of the tickets on the Nuggets, 94% of the cash. Big bets bet on the Nuggets here, which tells me that Jokic is going to be in. 46% of tickets on the over, 61% of cash on the over. Take it away, Daryl.
Yeah, so I mean, this one's weird because my number that I had yesterday and I tweeted it out was -2, right? And if it was that low, that meant Joker wasn't playing. There's no way in hell that this number should be that low if he is playing, which is fucking mind-boggling to me at that. I'm not getting this number at all. So I did look at, some stats, and they're kind of even across the board when it comes to point totals, when it comes to points per game. However, where Dallas really dominates is on the boards against Denver's, right? So yeah, they dominated them on the 3-point game, the rebound game, especially on the offensive side. So if we're talking about offensive boards and second chance points, that goes to Dallas. Now, even assists, which was kind of weird to me because when you put Joker in there, Joker is your assist guy. This guy's got eyes all around his head. He could see the court clearly. So I didn't understand why that would make a big or why that number was so far off. Another thing about Denver is that they really need Joker to be at 100%. I mean, this played 50 minutes and their lead scorer last game. Right? So we don't have any movement or anything coming from MPJ, which I really like Michael Porter Jr. I really expected to see something more out of Aaron Gordon, and I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. So the obvious lean would be to take Dallas here. It would be to take Dallas ultimately, and the reason why is because they just have better numbers with Porzingis out. They can run a faster pace, and you don't have to worry about really getting him involved. Now, I don't know what's going on with fucking Jason Kidd calling the Council of Three to play every player. Is this some kind of fucking witchcraft? I don't know what's going on, bro. I've never even seen anything like that, but it worked. Right now, imagine if he would have lost that goddamn game. Imagine if he would have lost that game. It would have been over. It would have been over for what he's trying to do. So I don't have a play here just yet because this is another game, in my opinion, to where the Denver Nuggets, you really don't know what you're going to get out of Joker, right? And the Dallas Mavericks, you really don't know what schemes and what they're trying to do. They're still trying to figure it out. That's why you play 15 players, bro. You play that many players because you're trying to figure this shit out. So right now, it's just a no play for me. If I had to make a play, it would definitely be on Dallas because you do have Luka there and you do not have 100% Joker, right? And the bad thing you want to happen on a big guy is his knee. That's just a bad injury to have on a big guy is their knee. So my lean is Dallas, but right now this is a no play for me.
Yeah, Dallas is very confusing. Jason Kidd trying to be a completely different man. And Piker, Seamus says Dallas on a back-to-back coming off 3 straight wins. Nuggets have a loss at the house. He's in smash spot for Denver. Capelot Pop says bad spot for Dallas. Dutch Boy says Nugs bench not playing well, but they have the guys. Capelot Pop's looking at that Dallas team total under. Trotwam and Dutch looking at Denver first quarter, but want to know if Jokic is in the lineup.
I mean, there's some plays that are just automatic wins. It's with me. I don't see an angle only because these guys are pretty evenly matched. But a good look would definitely be Denver. But if you look at their points, just for what it's worth, Dallas first quarter points they're averaging 20, right? Denver's first quarter points they're averaging 26. So that should be a no-brainer, really, but it's just something I couldn't really get to.
Understandably so. We got 2 games left on the card. Let's hammer in the next one. 10 p.m. Eastern, LA Clippers, 1-3, 0-1 on the road at Portland Trailblazers, 2-2, 2-1 at home. We're at the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon. Clippers pace 7th in the NBA, 103 possessions a game. Portland, your fastest team thus far in this NBA season, 105.5 possessions a game. Clippers coming off their 3rd loss in 4 games to start the season, 92-79 at home to the Cavaliers on Wednesday night. Clippers scored 14 points in the first, shot 19% from the field, 8 turnovers. Paul George, 24 points, 4 assists, 4 steals on the season. Reggie Jackson, 15.5 points per game, and they're 24th in field goal percentage at 42.7%, 26th in three-point percentage at 30.7%. George had 12 points and went 0 for 8 from 3. Kawhi, Ibaka, Marcus Morris all out indefinitely. Right. Blazers coming up their 2nd win in 3 games, 116-96 at home over Memphis on Wednesday. Lillard and the Blazers, looked good. They looked.
Yeah.
The game messed me up because I had first quarter, first half, and then they win the full
Yeah.
game, and it was like a very tough thing to watch. But Lillard had 20 points. He went 4 of 11 from 3. He came in at 2 for 24. McCollum went for 25. They outscored Memphis 65-39 in the second half. Norm Powell questionable. Tony Snell out. We have Portland opening up as 2.5-point favorites. They moved to 3. This total goes from 223 to 222. And there's 3,555 tickets in. Just 34% of the tickets are on the Clippers, but 41% of the cash. Then 56% of the tickets, 54% of cash on the under. Take it away, Darryl.
Yeah, this has got to be a revenge game, right? They got smacked the fuck up by the Clippers, 4 or 5 nights ago? Now, for what it's worth, Kennard had a career high game with 6 threes. I think he had up like 22 or 32 points or something like that. So that's not going to happen again. I do believe Portland is starting to find their stride. So I don't know what's happening in the locker room. It's not like Chauncey's the best coach in the fucking league, but Dame has kind of turned it around. Remember that game, Dame didn't even hit a 3, right? He had 0 threes. He was 4 for 15. So I could only look at Portland here. Because it's a revenge game angle. Secondly, I mean, you're telling me Eric Bledsoe and Reggie Jackson's going to lock up CJ and Dame? Fuck no. And you can't tell me that Zubac is going to lock up Nurkic. So I believe that's a 3-person advantage there. Now, Rocco is a good wing defender. I believe so. So he can kind of give Paul some kind of trouble just depending on where his head's at. Because you never know how Paul George is going to come out and play. There's nothing that says Paul George is going to come out with fierce and, tenacity and he's going to fucking, run the table. It just does not happen. They beat Portland and it wasn't even Paul George being the highest scorer. So that line, I believe, was Clippers -2.5, and Portland smacked the shit out of it. And the books are just coming back and giving, a home advantage to Portland -3, your default -3 points. I believe this is a Portland game. I'm not on this game also. And the reason why I'm not on this game is because I still want to see more of these teams. I still want to see more of these teams. So, yeah, it seems like maybe – I just saw that comment by Ski. Yeah, maybe Paul George does have an issue to where it's personal because of what he did to them in the playoffs in the postseason. But yeah, it's a revenge game angle, and it's the fact that I don't think Dame is going to shoot that fucking bad, especially at home. He was 4 for 15 and 0 for 8. So I just believe this is a Portland get-right game. They are feeling their stride. They did beat Memphis, and Memphis, for what it's worth, is a really good team. They were they're ranked, first. Or Ja alone, isn't he the NBA's top scorer right now?
Yeah.
He's the top scorer for the NBA. He's the leading scorer for the NBA right now. And they went out there and smacked the shit out of him. So, yeah, I don't have a play on this game also, but if I had a lean, it would be Portland.
Yeah, the only concern is the Clippers getting beaten up by the Cavs.
Yeah.
Makes me nervous if they had beaten up on the Cavs, I'd be all over the Blazers with you. All over. Eric Jones says Portland is the play, giving us a final score of 113-108.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see Portland just really giving it back to him. Dame is going to come out on fire. For what it's worth, Dame is like I think the person that Dame hates more than Paul George is probably Pat Bev, right? He doesn't like any of these motherfuckers. So this is definitely a get-right game for Portland.
Pat Bev not on the Clips anymore, so he can save that anger towards Minnesota. But I get it. I get your Blazers spot. I get it, but I also get why you have hesitancy because it doesn't fit every single box, every criteria.
Right.
Dan Kelly says, since this show started, that Cavs Lakers first half total has been moving like crazy. Started out at 111, went down to 110, now 113. Says, hope you got on it when I told you to. Great job, Dan Kelly. Dutch Boy Fresh says Powell in or out. And Ski Prophet says if Powell is out, Clips money line. So a very important note from our Ski Prophet.
That is one motherfucker I respect, bro. Is Hakeem. Ski knows his shit, man. He does. There's very few people that can move me off a number and move me off a pick, but that motherfucker is one of them. Trust.
Yeah, he's the truth, man. And as good of a guy off screen as he is on screen, just a complete quality individual. And we're just so lucky to roll with him. All right, let's move on to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Cleveland Cavaliers at LA Lakers. Cavs 3-2, 2-1 on the road. Lakers 2-3, 1-2 at home. We're at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. Cleveland paced 21st in the association, 100.2 possessions a game. Lakers second at 105.21 possessions a game. Cavs coming off their third straight win, 92-79 at the Clippers on Wednesday night. Sexton goes for 26. Mobley 12 and 10, double-double in his return to LA. Also, third consecutive game, Cleveland held its opponent to under 100 points. Lakers had their 2-game winning streak snapped in hilarious fashion. LeBron ankle out, Tucker thumb missed it, and Kendrick Nunn leg out. And right now, Horton Tucker and Nunn are out. So is Trevor Ariza. And now they have James and AD questionable. So Russell Westbrook, 20 points, 14 boards, 13 assists, and 10 turnovers, and then was ejected after Baisley dunked. It was a wildly fun game. And God, the NBA just never ceases to give you storylines. Lakers open up at -7. There's 7s, there's 7.5s, there's 8s. This total's gone from 218.5 to 221.5. When we go over to the cash flow, we have 3,417 tickets in. 34 tickets are on the Lakers, 34% of tickets, on the Lakers, and 51% of the cash. So some bigger bets still coming in on the Lakers. Then you have 51% of tickets on the over and 54% of cash on the over. Here we go. Last game on the card. Darryl, take it away. Cavs, Lake Show.
Fuck them. I'm not playing this fucking game. The Lakers could be a pair of fucking tits, and I still wouldn't touch them. I would not touch this game whatsoever. There's nothing about the Lakers that's telling me that they're worth playing, let alone laying 7.5 fucking points. Are you get? No. We're not playing this game. We're not touching this game at all. If anything, you just bet everything on the do a 5-dime whale play on Cleveland. Honestly, these guards are going to come out and play with no fear whatsoever. They're going to play with no fear. You would think that Russ being on the court without LeBron would be a good thing because he's able to play his game, be able to have the ball, more in his hands and be able to distribute when he can. And AD just being a finesse player, the guy is so light on his feet that it doesn't make a difference. But you give up a 26 fucking point lead to OKC. And let me tell you the reason why Russ took that personal, and this is just pure speculation, my own opinion. I believe Darius Baisley was supposed to be the new Russ in OKC. I honestly believe that. I believe he came to really replace Russ. He's got the look. Everything about him says that's the new Russ Westbrook. And for what it's worth, there is nothing about my Lakers right now that's telling me that I should lay 7.5 points and take this team whatsoever. It will be Cleveland or nothing for me. Now, let me take my fanboy hat off, right? And let me just look at it, from a more, let's not be so broad about it. It's still the fucking Lakers. And you still have AD. You still got some power players over there, right? And where I think is going to really matter with this game are the board game. Cleveland has bigs. They've got Jared Allen who can get boards. We talked about this. They've got Kevin Love who can get boards, right? And then you've got these two young studs in the backcourt. So Cleveland, who we would think is a shit team, is starting to play pretty well. They're playing with some confidence, and they're not afraid. That's the thing. And so now when I look at the Lakers, a team that comes in to play the Lakers, they're chomping at the fucking bit, ready to play these guys because they are not afraid. And two guards that I could say, let alone one player that I could say that plays fearless, that he is not afraid to play any player that he steps on the court with, is Colin Sexton. So for right now, man, you either take the Cleveland Cavaliers or you just hold your fucking money. There's no way I'm playing any type of play. I wouldn't play one fucking haypenny on this game whatsoever because there's nothing about this game that's appealing to me. Until I can see the Lakers get their shit together, I'm off any Laker game.
Now, you're off any Lakers game. Is it because you think that there is a chance that they actually get right here with AD and LeBron back in the lineup and smash the Cavs?
The problem is Russ. The problem is Russ. You're trying to find a way to fit him into a scheme that doesn't work. Right? So you can't you've got to do something with Russ because he is a great player. But you can't do anything with him because of the way he plays, right? Buddy Hield would have most definitely been the better fit. But instead of getting Buddy Hield, we get Malik Monk, in which I really like. I like Malik Monk and his three-point shooting. I think he's going to be your most consistent three-point shooter. But it's the Lakers are so good that they're bad. They're so bad right now. And I don't know if Vogel is trying to figure it out. There's no way in hell, no fucking way in hell that Vogel is going to put Russ on the bench. No way. Right? So now that you know you can't do that, how do you make the adjustments? You thought Russ came alive when LeBron went out the first game, when he went out with his knee. But he's trying too hard. He's trying way too hard here. And he's another one that's got to make some huge adjustments, work off the ball, which you can't do, right? And let LeBron do his thing. So, yeah, this is a very confusing team to me because you've got players that are all going to be Hall of Famers, right? But they can't even beat OKC, who, in turn, OKC got smacked out of Houston. So it's just a no play for me.
It's a wild, passionate breakdown there. Very interesting. I love Ski Pop says all this love for the Cavs. Ticket count, please. The ticket count right now, we have 3,505 tickets in. Just 34% of the tickets are on the Lakers, but 51% of the cash. So big bets coming in on the Lakers. Then you have 49% of the tickets on the under, 46% cash on the under. No move right now. And our Dan Kelly says, only thing going against Cavs tonight is they're going for their third straight win on this tough West Coast road trip. That is very hard to do. Get up for these games. That said, I'm on Cavs money line. He said. There you go. All right. Great stuff. Let's review Darryl's action right now. We have move past and then we have Big Boss jumping on right now for NCAA football. This is where we stand, and there might be an addition, so we will listen. He's on the Raptors.
Go ahead and add Go ahead and add Sacramento first half.
Sacramento first half. Okay, let's add. So there is the addition, Sacramento first half. Now, did you decide whether you wanted that money line? And I believe it's minus 108. We're going to double check that right now. Yeah, I believe it's minus 108. Let's check this right now. Sacramento, minus 106. Money line, minus 106.
Because a half a point was plus 102.
Let's check. I bet you it might be even better now because it just that moved 2 cents while we were talking about it. So minus a half is plus 103.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take the minus a half. Easy.
All right.
Get more value.
So we have Raptors minus 2.5 at minus 111 for Darryl. We have over 222 in the Charlotte Heat game. And we have the Sacramento Kings first half minus a half at plus 103. 3 spots for Darryl on his card. And for me at this point, the Cavs at 8 seem appealing, but it's interesting. Oh, by the way, while we were talking, both Sports Interaction and Bet365 moved from 7 and 7.5 respectively to 8. So it's now 8 across the board.
Wow.
And then I like that Raptors first quarter quite a bit. I'm going to tail that. I believe I'm going to tail that for sure. And then there's some injury stuff I need to figure out. So I'll be tweeting out how I handle things. Absolutely great job. Our guy, Darryl, you can see him every Friday right here on Betting with the Bag, and you'll see more of him on our channel overall. Great stuff. Follow our man on Twitter at It's Darryl right there on the screen. Darryl, my man, any last words for the great cappers supporting the show?
Hey, man, I like I said, you and I have talked offline. I really appreciate the opportunity, man. So I'm going to always try to bring it. I'm not the sharpest knife in the jar, but I'm still a fucking knife. So, I'm going to always try to bring it to you, man. And so I'm definitely humbled for this opportunity, Jimmy. Thank you.
Oh, we thank you, my man. We thank you. We have enormous respect for you and what you do, and you're a big addition to our fam here. There he is. It's Darryl. coming in with 3 looks in NBA. Catch him every Friday right here. We move on to NCAA football and a low bag legend about to share the screen. Please welcome to the show, now making his home in Long Beach, California, by way of Compton, California, DJ Big Boss.
What up, thou, Jimmy? Welcome to Big Boss Bodacious Barbecue. Hey, can I take your order, Jimmy? Let me tell you what we got on the menu. First, you can get a quickie. That's a mouthful of meat with a shot of boss sauce on the side. Next, you can go for our old-fashioned. That's 2 mouthfuls of meat and a freshly baked apple pie. And last, we only got 3 menus on here. We only got 3. And last, you can get our Senior Center special, where you can get 3 mouthfuls of meat, 2 bodacious potato balls, fresh apple pie, and a back rub. And guess what? We're available nationwide. You can catch it at. You can even order us at in your DoorDash, at your Postmates, or Uber Meats. Come holla at your boy. We doing it big.
If the boss sauce gets anywhere near my face, I'm leaving. But other than that, it sounds very, very good. It sounds very, very good. The Big Boss Barbecue in effect. God, I miss you, my man. Thank you for joining us.
I forgot to tell you our motto, Jimmy. Our motto is, you don't need no teeth to eat our meat. Let's go. Big Boss Barbecue.
Jesus. Oh, man. Running hot. DJ Big Boss in the house. Not only does he have the barbecue goods, but goddamn, were you on fire the last time you joined us. I don't have your numbers in front of me, and a couple of those wins were leans, but you were running very well. You also talked to us recently about how you're focusing solely on the Mountain West, a couple Sun Belt spots, couple pack spots, but you're focusing only on that. And good God, I see how sharp you are right now, and I can't wait to break down this NCAA football card. Very quickly, Mally Mal will always stop a show to answer anything you need, man. OG Lowbagger yourself. I'm doing 2 things. I'm on score first inning and Braves to score first. So it's kind of hedgy and kind of Pasafy, but you don't need teeth for Big Boss's meat. Is that
there you go? Okay. There you go. Everybody gets it. Everybody gets it. I love it.
Let's go. Let's go. 7:30 p.m. Eastern tonight. We have the Navy midshipmen, 1-6, 1-4 in the American at Tulsa. Golden Hurricane, 3-4, 2-1 in the American. Chapman Stadium, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 58 Fahrenheit, sunny, 8 miles per hour is the wind. We have 2 games we're going to break down on Friday. I'm not sure if Boss has moves on them, but he has given us his 3 best bets for Saturday, and I can't wait to break down these games. So we're going to start with Navy Tulsa. Tulsa opening up as 10-point favorites. They're now 11-point favorites. This total opens up at, let's see, it's coming up on my screen right now. It opens up at 48. It's now 46 now for 46. So I can understand when people see this spread immediately, they think, wow, this is nuts. Navy coming off a 27-20 loss at home to number 2 ranked Cincinnati as 28.5-point dogs, held the ball for 39 minutes and 27 seconds. How could they possibly be 11-point dogs against Tulsa? And its styles make fights, and you will see why there's a belief that Tulsa will be in control of this game. Let's see if the actual cash backs that up. 6,683 tickets in. 62% of the tickets on Navy, 61% of the cash. And then 32% tickets on the under, 90% of cash on the under. And we've seen this dropping very quickly. Cab says Navy seems to be getting love because of what they did against Cincinnati last week, but Desmond Ryder was overthrowing everyone. Tulsa can throw the ball, and Navy's secondary isn't it. Let's talk about this a little more and then hand it over to our guy, DJ Big Boss. So midshipmen running for 211 yards per game, and they have the 4th highest time of possession in the FBS. So if they have the 4th highest total possession in the FBS, how could they have not gotten over 250 yards half the time this year of offense? It just, that doesn't really compute. Only Houston has given up fewer yards on the ground. The Navy's 131.4. But Tulsa is a completely different type of football team. The first thing that Tulsa does is they have 16 sacks and 6.6 tackles for loss per game. So they can get you behind the line of scrimmage. Tulsa coming off their second straight win, 32-31 at USF as 7-point favorites, and they just barely won. It was a strange game. They outgained USF 535-268. They won the first down battle 31-13, so it was a very strange final score. They're averaging 14.2 yards per completion, and Navy's secondary is not good. Davis Brent's only behind Memphis' Seth Hannigan for top 15, and he's in the top 15 in the FBS. He's behind Seth in the AAC and top 15 in the FBS in yards per completion. But he's been picked off 8 times in the last 5 games. So Hurricane coming off a ground game against the Bulls where they rushed for 269 yards. Shamari Brooks, 145. Prince, 110. And it feels like the way Tulsa wants to attack you is a weakness of Navy. And that's why this is gone from 10 to 11, even though a lot of people think Navy can cover this. I can't wait to hear your breakdown. Mally Mal says Tulsa blowout. Putzer says this Navy quarterback isn't a great runner. Take it away, Big Boss, my guy.
So this wasn't a game that I was actually on, but for the show, I took a look at it. And because, I usually don't like to mess with those military teams, especially Navy, because they get uncomfortable a lot. But for one, so let's look at the Navy side. So Navy been tight in a lot of the games that they lost, even though, they have a losing record. They coming off a loss to Cincinnati, a really good team. But, they covered and all that good stuff. But in this one, you got to figure some teams give Navy benefit of the doubt. They play in the military team. They're not really trying to run the scoreboard up on them. So that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? The coach talked about how the players were a little saddened, by the loss in the locker room. And, we're at the week in college football where these young kids, nowadays – They'll leave, transfer, whatever, once it gets down, it gets down. So this team is 1-6. They down. They're coming off a loss to a big team. Some of them might be like it's over at this point. So that didn't look well for Navy in their favor. Although, Navy can run the ball and Tulsa defense is not the greatest defense, neither against the run, but more against the pass, though. So that'll be an opportunity for Navy to actually pass the ball. They're trying to say last week they did a little better passing the ball against Cincinnati. I don't know if that's here nor there. So this week they may attempt a little more passing. That's why I'm kind of scared of that low total. We might go over, but last year's game was 19-6. And this coach over here at Tulsa, he faced Navy I think every year since he's been coaching there at Tulsa, and he's only beat them twice, and one which was last year, like I said, 19-6. So for Tulsa, that kind of say they kind of keyed up on Navy's a little bit. Maybe he's caught up. Right now, he's the better coach. They both play some pretty decent schedules. I tried to see if there was an imbalance there, but they both played some solid teams. Tulsa played some solid teams early in the season, and they actually covered. But now they're getting a couple wins in against a few bad teams. So these teams kind of measure off right at each other, in experience and everything. So I had to go back to the rules of the road, though, and this one's been working for me. And that's that Tulsa's coming off a bye facing the option team. So it gives them time to study for the option. So Tulsa should come in here. They've seen them before. They got extra time to prepare for the option. They should come and win in, and by rule, they should win and cover.
I completely understand that look. I feel like this is a very sharp line, and I'm very nervous to make a move on it. Vitalis Navy 4-3 against the spread. Low total shows the move. Cavs got Tulsa first half -6.5. Is there anything that you want to make official here for the show on this game?
I'm gonna go by rule, and I'm gonna take the -11. I mean, last year it was a -12, and they covered that. This year, even if Navy gets a loose, offensively, they may get a little offensively as well, as they're a little better offensively this year. So I'm gonna stick, and I look at it's a high number for me too, Jimmy. I look at it like I'm not sure, like, maybe if it was 9, I'd just jump right on it, but the 11 kind of scares me a little bit. But when you're taking plays by rule, you got to go ahead and go with the rule and have comfortability with the points. And the rule's been working for me, so I got to stick to the rule. And I believe in I believe the option is really easy to shut down. Everybody stick to their responsibilities, and you can shut it down. You see teams with good defense do it all the time. So here's a Tulsa team that's seen it before. They got some extra time to practice for it. It falls all in the category of, maybe you just want to take it first half or take it full game, one of those sides, or just take them both. I don't know, but the rule goes with Tulsa, man. Put me down for Tulsa -11. I'm rolling with the rule.
Tulsa -11 at -105. Let's move on to the 10 p.m. game before we go into Big Boss's best bets for the Saturday card. We have UNLV Rebels 0-7, 0-3 in the Mountain West at Nevada. Wolfpack 5-2, 2-1 in the Mountain West. We're at Mackay Stadium in Reno, Nevada. 60 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 6 miles per hour is the wind. UNLV comes in off their 7th straight loss, second straight tight one. 27-20 at home versus San Jose State, 6-point dogs. They were up 20-13 going into the fourth quarter. Cameron Friel completed 20 of 28 passes for 240 yards and a touchdown. Charles Williams rushed for 94 yards on 24 carries. Nevada had their 3-game winning streak snapped in a 34-32 loss at Fresno State as 3.5-point dogs. Fresno State, San Diego State is the last game of Big Boss's best bets. So we have Carson Strong going, 49 of 61 in that game. 476 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. Nevada tied for third in the entire nation with 28 sacks. Tristan Nichols has 8. Tom Peterson has 4.5. Sam Hammond has 4. Let's set this table here with the market for our Big Boss. Nevada opening up at -20.5. It's down to -20. This total opened up at 59. It's now at 58 or 58.5. We move over to the cash flow here. 57% of the tickets and 73% of the cash on the Rebels, on UNLV. Then we have 47% of tickets on the under and 58% of cash on the under, and it has moved towards the under. Here we go, boss. Mountain West, where you do it best. Take it away.
This one is this is the Fremont Canyon, man. This is big shit in Nevada, man. This is like Reno versus Vegas. So Nevada holds the Canyon from last year. UNLV, that's a scrappy team, man. They pretty good ATS. They come in those games, they be leading first half, all kinds of stuff, but they switched over quarterbacks to the Pharrell guy. The other guy was a lot more longer and bigger, so he got away with a lot of stuff on the ground. But this guy, he doing it from the shoulders, but he's pretty young though, and that's a bad thing. Those young quarterbacks come in, you get a chance to study them, and then they start throwing looks at them and they start making mistakes. And this Nevada team right here is irritated. They irritated off the loss from last week versus Fresno State. They got a good look at, they were having a good look at winning the Mountain West, just clear out, but now with the loss, it's kind of blurry. So they already hold the Canyon. They fired up. They at home. A lot of stuff recognizes why that total is 20. But I feel like this UNLV team, and I've been cashing off the UNLV team. I feel like the UNLV team, they scrappy. Like they have the athletes, they just don't have it gelled together. The coach Avalos, I don't know what it is. Maybe he's not like, I don't know. He don't know how to tame his kids, basically. So the kids over there, man, they can play really well. They make really good plays, but they let the big plays go. But this Nevada team, they're a little fast paced. They slack on the defensive side sometimes. So I think there's going to be some points scored in this game. It's a rival game. I don't see no reason why UNLV won't be fired up to try to get the Canyon or to upset Nevada and all that good stuff. So I like UNLV plus the 20 points off top. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking 20 points with a bunch of kids. You never know what happens. So I like that look. But, I mean, if you want to try to narrow it down and stay away from UNLV and you're looking more at Nevada's going to run away with this game because they irritated, then I was looking for a spot, maybe Nevada first quarter coming out fired up, but UNLV's been doing good as well. scoring at the beginning of the game too. A couple times they struck first, but I like Nevada minus the 7 if you're looking for a Nevada look. And then I like back on the UNLV side, I like a team total over. I'm not sure what the team total is on that one, but even if it's like 24 or something, I think UNLV gets in the end zone a few times.
I will give you that team total right now. The team total is at 19.5.
Give me that. Give me that right there. That's what I want. The team total over 19.5 for UNLV. They'll get in the end zone 3 times. That's easy.
Team total over 19.5, minus 115 for UNLV, and UNLV plus 20. By the way, if anybody wants this plus 20, it's not going to be here. In I would say about an hour, it'll move to 19.5. So if you want the 20, I know it's not really actually, it's a pretty important pivot point. So the 20 is available right now. Pinnacle's moved this 20 to minus 113. So it's going to be moving to 19.5. Eric Jones giving us a final score of 44-19. But Big Boss thinks not only will UNLV cover, but they will get that team total over. I like both of these looks. I don't want to double up, though, so I'm going to try and figure out which one I like the best. Brian Watson got plus 21.5. Great job, Bri. Great job, Bri. Nathan Cerna says Wolfpack probably hearing all that upset talk. And Doyle, our guy Beefcake, says they can beat Nevada. Nathan Cerna says I'm throwing some Rebel meat on the grill right now. So there we go. UNLV plus 20 at minus 110. UNLV team total over 19.5 minus 115. And Paco Keeley, Pride of San Diego, says I am tailing right now. All right, let's move on to best bets. We have best bet time, and I have not capped these games, so I'm going to be all ears for how Boss is going to attack. And we start at 12 p.m. Eastern. Miami Hurricanes 3-4, 1-2 in the ACC at Pittsburgh Panthers 6-1, 3-0 in the ACC. Now ranked number 17 in the country. Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We have some weather issues. 55 Fahrenheit showers and 4 miles per hour. Miami snapped a 2-game losing streak with a 31-30 win at home over then number 18 NC State as 3.5-point dogs. Freshman Tyler Van Dyke looked really good. 25-33, 325 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Pittsburgh comes in off their 4th straight win, 27-17 at home over Clemson as 3.5-point favorites. So we have Miami, Pittsburgh. We have Pittsburgh opening up as 10-point favorites. It moves to 9.5, and Pinnacle has moved it to 9. So you can expect that to move to 9 everywhere else, and maybe 8.5s are coming. Let's see if the money follows. 3,795 tickets in. 59% of the tickets on the spread on Pittsburgh, 57% of the cash. So slightly more cash coming in on Miami than the tickets. And then 63% of tickets on the over, 80% of cash on the over. And I didn't even mention that total. So let's move back to the total here very quickly. Move back to spreads and totals. Here we go. So we have this total opening up at 62, and it's actually dropped a little. It's only moved 1 cent at Pinnacle. It was juiced to the under initially. So it's 61 or 61.5 at other books, but 62 at Sports Interaction and Pinnacle. Here we go, boss. Miami, Pittsburgh, big game on Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern. Take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the big game for a Pitt team that everybody's fired up for, and everybody's jumping on them now. So first, I want to get rid of some of the misconceptions about Pittsburgh. People see that they do over 300 yards in the air, but they also run on the ground 178 yards a game. So they like to do the run to open up a pass, and they have great defense. This team is getting over off of playing good defense and running the ball to open up the pass. So that's just wonderful for Pitt. Pitt's coming off a big win. They're looking great in this spot right here. Now, they was heckling me a little bit on the show last Saturday about back in Miami. Somebody said Miami ain't been good in 20 years, whatever. Miami's another team that, just haven't got all the pieces to get on the field at the same time. And in this matchup right here, the coach over at Miami says, best part about it is they've had good times beating Pitt in the past. So they're prepared for a win. So ain't no big brother, little brother look in this game. These two teams are going to meet face-to-face on field. They're going to have to bring defense and offense in this. The line suggests that, it's a runaway for Pitt, considering their schedule, the teams they won, beat against, and all that kind of stuff. But the unique factor that I find as an edge in the game is this 61 that they put on here is the highest total between these two teams in the last 10 years. And ain't no other way to go in this one but under. I think it's going to be a fight on the field. For some reason, maybe recency bias or analytics, whatever, they have Pittsburgh as this machine, and that's the dynamic of college football, is that these are kids. They meet on the field, they have to play, the whole game out, and although the numbers may suggest that this team is just going to fly by them, it's going to be a fight on the field, and the total stays under 61.
Very interesting, Cap. A contrarian look, and Boss has so many of them. One of the things that I love, and I feel only the same way in NHL, but Boss has no fear whatsoever going up against market moves, going up against where the cash is. Very, very interesting. But we can still give you a 62 here for sure, but it depends if you want to take on the juice. Oh, no, we can give you a sports interaction under 62 at -110 for Big Boss. Boss under
and there's a chance of rain in that one too, so we got some other dynamics coming up on that one too. And the coach over there at Pittsburgh said he's committed. His backs were going down; it was getting kind of shallow in the backfield, but he said he's committed to 2 to 3 backs in the backfield. He got them lined up, so the depth ain't changed or anything. Pittsburgh's gonna run the ball.
Our guy Jemiah, who we all got to hang out with in Vegas when we went for that big party together, says Miami beat Pittsburgh the last 3 times. Kenny Pickett was there for all of them, but didn't get to play last year. The difference is now he's good enough to do something about it. Good enough to do something about it from our Jemiah James in the house. 50 Cal Davis says, love that under. So it's very, very peculiar here. Eric Jones gave me a final score of 32-22, which would cash this under. So from the market standpoint, we have all this money, 63% of the tickets, 80% of the cash on the over, and we have the books dropping the number to make the over even more appealing. Take that however you want, and then Boss already told us that's the highest number he's seen in the last 10 years.
In the last 10 years, I bet that number goes down by game time.
Great breakdown. Is this a big chinga?
Big chinga. 2 mouthful of meat.
Okay. There's no those in the house. Okay, let's move on to the next stop on the board. 12 p.m. Eastern. We got DJ Big Boss joining us here. Best bets on the Saturday NCAA football card. 12 p.m. Eastern. Number 9 ranked Iowa Hawkeyes, 6-1, 3-1 in the Big Ten. The Wisconsin Badgers, 4-3, 2-2 in the Big Ten. We're at Camp Randall. 51 Fahrenheit. Mostly cloudy, 9 miles per hour. Iowa comes in fresh off their bye week after taking a beating. Their first loss of the season, and Kev Riley also liking that under. Their first loss of the season, 24-7 at home versus Purdue, is 11-point favorites. And these teams share a common opponent because Whiskey faced them last week. Their third straight win, they beat up on Purdue 30-13 as 3.5-point favorites. They hold Purdue to 206 yards and force 5 turnovers. Here we go. Iowa, Wisconsin. Wisconsin opening up at -3. You can still get them at 3 at a couple books, but Pinnacle, Bet365, Bodog, Will Hill have all moved to 3.5. Then when we move over to the cash flow here, 6,569 tickets, 75% of the tickets, 76% of the cash on the spread on Iowa, and then 65% of the tickets, 81% of the cash on the over. An over that opened up at 37 and is dropping 36.5 and 36. Can't wait to hear your breakdown. Take it away, Boss.
Man, this game, I talked about this. Those that watched the show on Saturday as well, I talked about this. Somehow the books, I keep catching them with their hand in the cookie jar, just like they do with Clemson. Each week, they know people want to come in on Clemson, so they set the line in ways that give Clemson value when they don't have no value. This Wisconsin team doesn't have any value. They really haven't been doing too much well. They've been struggling on offense, but they do have a solid defense. But, I mean, they have a solid defense year in, year out. They play disciplined football. That's their MO. So here we go again. They're giving Iowa plus 3.5 points when they're already the better team. So I'm loving Iowa in this spot right here. Wisconsin, this is one of those little traps where the bookie's trying to stick us up. And I talk about it all the time. The best spots to take Iowa is when they got taken plus money. So I like Iowa big time in this one.
Iowa big time. Wow. Very interesting. So can we touch on what the hell happened at home versus Purdue 2 weeks ago?
That's what they do in that conference. That's why I said you don't take Iowa giving up points. You take Iowa when they're getting points in the Big Ten. The Big Ten, historically, they just beat up on each other. Like, one of them could be the best someday if one of them wouldn't keep knocking them down. What they say, crabs in a barrel, they just keep knocking each other down. Look at Ohio State now, look at Penn State. None of these teams can be a clear-cut winner because they're getting good competition. I give it to them, good competition in their conference, and that's why these things happen. And Iowa is that main team, and they're coming off a bye. They're coming off a extra time to prepare for a plain potato salad team like Wisconsin that's just gonna play. They're gonna run no matter if they getting running yards or not. They just gonna, only way you got to make them pass on 3rd and long. But in this Iowa team, they got defense, they got offense, they got all the weapons. They've displayed that they're a good team, and I don't understand why would they set the line right there. Set it on 3. You know what I mean? So basically, they're saying Wisconsin is almost a touchdown better than Iowa if you consider that they given 3 points for Wisconsin being at home. So really, they're supposed to beat them by a solid 7. And Wisconsin haven't showed that offense. And I watched that Notre Dame Wisconsin game all the way out, and I've seen everything they got to show on the field, and I don't see it. And I've watched Iowa games; they play a disciplined ball too. They struggle on offense at times, but they got shut down D. So shut down D versus playing potato salad. Iowa gets a chance to score. And I kind of believe in the line going under. That's a gutsy play, especially in college football. As Noli knows, you got to put down the purse and bet that one at 36.5. The book is already telling you it's going to be a low-scoring game. So I'm like Iowa plus the points right there.
Wild. These are such fascinating breakdowns. Razor Sharp Pick says, so wait, the number 9 ranked team is getting points? It's like taking money from a baby. That's what Razor says. And Razor is about to have a new baby. Razor is about to welcome.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
I'm done having kids.
Iowa plus 3.5 minus 115 for our DJ Big Boss. Last game on Boss's card, Fresno State Bulldogs 6-2, 3-1 in the Mountain West. At number 21 ranked San Diego State Aztecs 7-0, 3-0 in the Mountain West. And we're at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California, while Aztec Stadium is in renovations. So 62 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 5 miles per hour is the wind. Fresno State comes in off their second straight victory, 34-32 at home over Nevada as 3.5-point favorites. And the Aztecs come in off a 2014 win at Air Force as 3-point dogs. Let's pull this up here and see what Boss is going to do. This is one of the bets that I love having some action on. A little late night Saturday DGen action. The San Diego State Aztecs open up at -1 and -109. They're now -1 and -105. So a 4-cent move over to Fresno State. Then from a total side of things, here we go. We have this total opening up at 46.5 at Pinnacle. It's dropped all the way down to 44.5. 44.5. Mally says, what was the move on the Miami game? It was the under 62 at -110. Nathan Cerna says, Aztecs hot at the house. Fresno had the big letdown in Hawaii. This isn't the house, though. We're at Dignity Health Sports Park. Who calls a stadium Dignity Health Sports Park? And we're in Carson, California, so this is not the house. That's a very important part of this game. Their stadium is under renovations. So we have 1,702 tickets in. 52% of the tickets, 57% of the cash is on Fresno State. And then we have 59% of the tickets, just 16% of the cash on the under. 84% of the cash on the over in the end. It's dropped 2 points. Very, very tricky. Here we go, Boss. Take it away. Mountain West, where you do it best.
Man, I'm going to just go in first on Brady Hoke over there at San Diego State. Brady Hoke, if you watching this show, man, I know you are. If you watching this show, you already know, man, this is an L right here, man. This is the best offense that San Diego State has faced this year. They've been just getting by and getting high on offense with a wonderful defense that's getting them in the W category. But they do for a loss. They on the ticker and teeter for a loss. And who better to serve them this loss but this Fresno State team with this NFL caliber quarterback, this coach that's offensive minded. But this year, he gets a little defense as well. A lot of people are overlooking the fact that Fresno State plays defense as well. I said it last week in the win against Nevada that people were just underrating Fresno State defense. Okay, stay there because there's so much hype about the quarterback and the offense. Nobody's looking at the defense. Great. So San Diego State struggles on offense at times running the ball, definitely passing the ball, making decisions. They had the quarterback carousel going on over there with Brookshire and the other guy. I don't even think Brookshire is starting no more. They're going with the other guy. So this team is a joke on offense, but I love San Diego State. I mean, what Capra doesn't like good defense, right? But this is the one for them. This is where they get caught with their hand in the cookie jar as well. Another one of those where the bookies might just be setting you up. They're trying to give false value, even by giving San Diego State the one. They're giving false value to San Diego State because Fresno State played a way better. Look at the schedules that they played. They played a way better schedule than San Diego State. San Diego State been getting by and getting high on offense, and Fresno State gonna walk through here, beat them, and go home like it ain't nothing.
I love this breakdown. You're seeing things so clearly. And last time you were on the show, you were just handing out winner after winner after winner. And I only tailed a couple spots when you gave out like 7 or 8. I don't want to make that mistake this week. You can get a +1 at -110. Let's see what you get on the money line. A +1 at -110. We're going to shop around for a Fresno State money line for our DJ Big Boss. We can give you a...
Two more. While you do that, let me tell you 2 more points about this game right here.
Sure,
right?
man.
First of all, this is the first meeting between these 2 coaches because, COVID and all that good stuff. So this is the first time Brady Hoke gets to take a look at Kalen DeBoer's offense. Kalen DeBoer's offense is high ranked. And after watching Brady Hoke talk about basically his captain of the game, he never calculated that Fresno State, Ronnie Rivers, the running back, who was injured in the last game, he's probable in this game. But a part of their game is catching the ball out the backfield like the Rams back in the day. So they used the running back as a receiver as well. The guy got over 23 catches for the season. And you mean the head coach of San Diego State, the defensive guy, overlooked that? He didn't mention that in capping the game on his press conference? Man, this game bleeds Fresno State. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But hey, from watching these teams year in, year out, man, Fresno State is the way better team.
I love it. Fresno State +1 at -110 or money line -105.
Give me money line.
Fresno State money line -105 for DJ Big Boss. Let's review Boss's action here. Friday, he's on Tulsa -11 at -105, and he's backing UNLV +20 at -110, and the UNLV team total over 19.5 at -115. By the way, I'll hit these comments in a second. Then he's on the under 62. These are best bet Saturday. Under 62 in Miami, Pittsburgh, Iowa +3.5, and Fresno State money line. All these spots make a ton of sense. Nate Cerna says it should be a hell of a game. Dennis Trusty says Fresno hasn't looked the same since playing UCLA. That said, I don't want to bet Fresno, even though I do like them. So why not the over? But Paco Healy saying under all day. Paco Healy knows the San Diego State team inside and out. Eric Jones saying 25-18 San Diego. I beaten you today. Says San Diego State is a legit. Fresno State won't be able to squat. Won't be able to do squat. Maybe 2 squat. I mean, it's not like we're smoking cigarettes in China. We don't do a lot of squatting here on the show. But maybe he means 2 squat. So here we go. Another look here. Simon says, Bet says San Diego State has good defense, great punter, and garbage offense. Dutch Boy Fresh says Boston is zone. Get it, big bro. DJ Big Boss can be seen tomorrow morning, Saturday at 10 a.m., breaking down the entire football card alongside Babano, alongside C-Mac, and alongside the Big Ragu. Follow our man on Twitter at DJ Big Boss. My man, thank you so much for yes. If I was smoking darts. Russell Peters is a comic that I had the honor of starting with. I've known him since I was 17, so I've been friends with him for 24 years. And he does an impression of the Chinese national soccer team, and all he does is he just squats and starts smoking. It's pretty good. Boss, my man, any last words for these great cappers supporting the show?
Hey, man, to all my cappers out there that's at work right now, you know, lunchtime is coming up, man. I want you just to go to your neighbor and say, hey, man, let's order some Big Boss barbecue and let them know what my menu's like. And we'll send the meat to their mouth because, once again, you can catch us at we can catch you at the in your DoorDash, at your Postmate, and Uber Meats. Check us out, Big Boss Barbecues. Follow me on Twitter right there, man. And make sure you follow Hoobangin' Sports Talk and all the stuff we got over on some of your other social medias, Instagram, TikTok. You know, I'm trying to do some different things nowadays, but you can catch us on Twitter as well, man. And make sure you follow my bro, Wham Bam, Dutch Boy Fresh, Marlon Z, the Big Ragu, Ian Cameron, Connor Mack, Jimmy the Bag. The list goes on and on and on and on and on, man. Much love to the low baggers. Every time I come on this show on Friday, man, it gives me energy, man. I love it.
Oh, man, we love having you on. And I get to hang out with you finally over the holidays when I get back into Los Angeles. Much love to our guy, DJ Big Boss. Brian Watson says, what's the Fresno play? Some idiot rang my doorbell. The play is Fresno State Bulldogs from DJ Big Boss, but it wasn't loved by all. I beaten you today. Thinks that San Diego State going to take care of business. That is our guy, DJ Big Boss. We got a couple CFL games we're going to break down quickly, and then we have the montage. Our producer, by the way, looking very, very sharp here in the background. I get to stare at him while he's not on the screen. There he is, right there. It looks haunting over there where you are.
What are you talking about, eh? We're just having a time. We're having a good time on the show. We're talking about Big Boss. We're talking about everything, eh?
All right. We have Jose joining us for capping CFL. I'm on a 5-game winning streak in CFL, which has been nice. Yeah, 14-9, hitting at 60.9%, plus 3.8 units, plus 16.52 ROI. Oh, there it is right there. Average line minus 112. It's been, and Jared says, wow, the CFL still exists. You're damn right it exists. Our balls are bigger. Our balls are bigger. All right, let's get to work right now. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Calgary Stampeders and Ottawa RedBlacks. Stampeders 5-6, 3-2 on the road. RedBlacks 2-9, 1-4 at home. We're at TD Place Stadium in Ottawa, Ontario. 47 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 9 miles per hour. Let's take a look at what we are dealing with from a market standpoint. Although I have won 5 straight, and this often happens when you start, get on a run, you tighten everything up. I haven't been making as many bets of late. The RedBlacks open up at plus 11. They're now at plus 10.5. And then the total opening up at 42.5 is now at 43. And Paco Healy said that accent doesn't sound Canadian a bit. So he says, doesn't sound Canadian a bit. Razor sharp picks, though. It does say that you look better with the mask on.
Well, I mean, of course, I always do. But Jim, let me tell you, I've got to play on this CFL game, of course. So because I am very Canadian, eh?
Jesus. Okay, which one?
Unofficial.
Unofficial. Stamps RedBlacks?
I have. You know what, Jim? I'm gonna ride with the Elks, but we'll get there when we get there.
Okay, we'll get
there.
I'll
be staring at you in the background. Don't worry, because Jim, I'm watching you.
You coming on dressed as a goaltender did help the show enormously after this sad state of the Chicago Blackhawks talk. So it helped. It helped so much, dude. All right, Calgary
I'm
comes
glad
off.
that I missed that, by the way. And by the way, after
Yeah.
you told me that about that, I stayed up until 3 a.m. reading all about it. So that's also why I was up to 3 in the
Did you watch
morning.
the interview?
No. I didn't want to put my. I read. I would rather read than watch that. But let's not talk about sad things while I'm dressed up like an idiot.
Calgary comes in off a tough 2017 loss at home to the Rough Riders on Saturday night. Bo Levi Mitchell was 21-31, 311 yards, 1 touchdown, but 3 interceptions. Since the return of Bo Levi Mitchell from injury, Stamps have turned their season around. I mean, they were 1-4. He comes back. They're now 4-2, and they're coming off of a loss. Ottawa comes in off a 32-3 loss at Hamilton on Saturday. They look atrocious, and they have added to their roster Devlin Hodges, old Duck Hodges of the Pittsburgh Steeler fame, has come up north, and he looked awful. He looked fucking terrible. 8 of 16 for 49 yards and a pick. He also ran 5 times for 13 yards. Did not look good, but either did Caleb Evans. Caleb Evans was 12 of 15 for 138 yards and 2 interceptions. Ottawa was able to muster just 187 passing yards between these two quarterbacks, and they average a league low 208 passing yards per game. Can Kadeem Carey and Bo Levi Mitchell, Kadeem Carey, the running back, beat up on this Red Blacks team is the question. The Stampeders defense has surrendered the most completions in the league. They've allowed teams to pass for an average of 264.5 yards per game, but Caleb Evans and Duck Hodges can't do it. Is Duck Hodges going to be better in his second game? I don't know. I do not know. Kenny Stafford signed with the Red Blacks. He tried his hand in the NFL, and he signed just a few weeks ago. So he suited up in Ottawa in Week 8, and he was very good. He finally gave this passing unit consistent playmaking ability. So he's dressed for 5 games for Ottawa, and he has caught 12 of his 18 targets, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns. His 2 receiving touchdowns. So Stafford comes back from trying out in the NFL. His 2 receiving touchdowns are tied for the most by an Ottawa receiver this year. Now, before I went on my 5-game winning streak, I lost 2 straight fading this Red Blacks team. The thing is that Calgary is an angry group after that 2017 loss, after Bo Levi Mitchell threw for 3 picks. So I expect them to come out angry. I also expect both of these Ottawa Red Blacks quarterbacks to be looking over their shoulder. Do you want the Stampeders on the road traveling across the country, first half -6? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a lean right now just because I think this is an angry group, but I don't trust the Stamps team. And you have to think that with Stafford coming back and with Duck kind of pushing Caleb Evans, maybe they can be better. Maybe. The last thing I want to do is be sitting around with double-digit road favorites. I know what that does, and so it makes me uncomfortable. And Jose needs his UTSA breakdown. They're all calling for Jose's UTSA breakdown. Is that in the cards?
Unfortunately, they're on a bye.
Okay, they're on a bye. All right, we'll have them for next week.
Next week, again, biggest game in program history.
I don't know if I want this. It's like there's so many opportunities and on tonight's sports card, and to sit here and be watching the Stamps Red Blacks game it's not appealing to me. And to be sweating out a road team that's a big favorite right now does not sound appealing to me. Yes, they're angry. Is that going to be enough? Dennis says pass, and I agree. Let's move on to 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Hamilton Tiger Cats 5-5, 2-3 on the road at Edmonton Elks, 2-7, 0-5 at home. We're at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton, Alberta. 35 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 10 miles per hour. There are heavy winds earlier in the day, so you have winds up to 20 miles an hour, 22 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden, right around kickoff, they drop off. We have Jose joining us for this breakdown. I'm going to set a table for you, Jose. I'm going to set a table for you and then watch you rock. Hamilton comes in off destroying Ottawa 32-3 at home last Saturday. Masoli is starting and looking good, and then Dane Evans comes in short yardage packages and also looks good. They got 337 of their 472 yards through the air. They average over 300 yards per game. But that was against Ottawa, and Ottawa is on the road. How much do we take in that Hamilton's offense is this fine-fueled machine? But Masoli says they are. Masoli says, quote unquote, we're finding our rhythm. We've had so many moving pieces that we've kind of found our groove in those moving pieces as well. It was a little tough week to week figuring out who's there, who's here, but now it's kind of just our thing, and we're good to go with it. They have a fully healthy receiving core for the first time. Last out was for the first time all year, and they set the season high in total yardage. Elks come in off their bye week. We last saw them in a 26-16 loss at home to the Blue Bombers. Then the Blue Bombers went and beat the Lions 45-0, so that loss looks a little better. Do you trust Taylor Cornelius? That's the question.
Yeah, I do.
I know that you do, Jose.
Are you kidding me?
I know that you do, Jose. Dennis says I will probably take Hamilton to win the Grey Cup at 7-1. I do like that look. So Elks traded away Trevor Harris. They bring in Nick Arbuckle, the backup quarterback for the Argos, who did start for a few games, but they're going with Taylor Cornelius as their starter. And Derek Moncrief, who's also returned from the NFL, is probably the best linebacker in the league in the CFL. A guy who can't make a practice roster in the NFL can be the best linebacker in the league in the CFL. Elks, Ticats, let's just set the table market-wise. Tiger Cats open up as sorry, that was first time. Open up at -5. They're now -5.5 for 6. And this total is 43 or 43.5. We have 2 road favorites. Something I don't like. Take it away, Jose.
Now, Jim, let's just be honest here.
Sure.
Taylor Cornelius has to be the best quarterback in the CFL. He's a god. Everything he touches turns to gold. And let me tell you, Jim, I'm on Edmonton. Money line and spread. I believe in the boys. I'm looking Bobano right in his face right now. I'm looking at him. I'm saying, fuck you, Bobano. But screw your Tiger Cats. If I was at Bobano's place right now, I would take his plush tiger that he has behind his thing, rip it up, throw it out, take his pennant. Is that what those are called? I don't know what those are called. Take his pennant, rip it up, throw it out. I'm on the Elks. I'm a huge Elks guy, a.k.a. the Eskimos. By the way, you put Eskimos in the description instead of Elks. That's not the name anymore, Jim. We're the Elks. We're the Elks. And we're going to win, Jim. 2-7. We're still in the hunt for the Grey Cup. I think that's what it's called. I believe Taylor Cornelius, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, unofficial plays, 5.5, money line. Go Elks. Hey.
Riveting. It was a riveting performance, and it adds a lot to the show. I get why you like the Elks off of a bye. And after Hamilton destroyed Ottawa, feeling so good about themselves, now you have an Elks team really fighting. In all honesty, I don't want anything to do with either of these 2 spots, except I have interest in this over in Hamilton, Edmonton. I do. The wind's going to completely die off. That's why it opened this low. You have a Ticats team that's finally rolling. Edmonton does have a good defense, but you just feel like off of their bye, and then you have, a quarterback who Cornelius knows that he's the head of the snake here. Finally, they ship out the starting quarterback. So I do think points can be scored and will be scored. So you know what? I'm going to move on this over 43.5 in Ticats. I think this is a perfect time. Now, we know unders have been cashing all year at an alarming rate. But I think the over 43.5 is an official pick, going for 6 straight in the CFL. Jose, my man, it was a wild week. And I'm very thankful to work with you day in and day out. You bring levity in times when it's enormously needed. You also bring it when we don't need it. And regardless.
Like during my plays. Because we're super serious, Jim. We're very serious.
I love it. Let's review action. And then we have a montage that our man Jose has put together. So first, let's review action before we thank you guys all so much for joining us. Oh, and the taint play of the day came in during the show. Taint came in during the show. It is the Atlanta Braves money line at minus 115. Taint is in. Taint is in. So here we go. This is a review of action. Taint is in on the Braves. A Robert Cherry Pamper Pop play of the day is the Braves first 5 minus a half. Our Jose is on the first 5 over 4.5 for the Say Hey. I'm on run in first inning, yes, at minus 125. Braves score first at plus 100. And then when we move on to a couple looks from Ron Crawford, these are the Ron Crawford spreadsheet plays of the day. They are Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, it is UCLA plus 6.5. On Sunday, it is New England plus 4.5. And then we have in NHL, I am on 4 spots. I'm on the Capitals minus 1.5 at minus 115. The Hurricanes minus 1 at minus 124. The Rangers minus 1 at minus 110. And the Stars minus 1 at minus 117. Then we move on to the NBA. Our guy, Darryl, 3-2 plus 0.8 units. Now our regular every Friday as our NBA expert is on the Raptors first quarter minus 2.5, minus 111. I find it very appealing. Very, very appealing. He's on the over 222 in Hornets Heat. And he closes up his card with the Sacramento Kings first half minus a half at plus 103. We're waiting for some injury news to drop in NBA. Big Boss came in. He gave us Tulsa minus 11 at minus 105. And he gave us UNLV plus 20 and UNLV team total over 19.5. I'm interested in that. I don't want both. I don't want to double up. So I'm going to make a move on one of them. Then his best bets on Saturday, under 62 in Miami, Pittsburgh, Iowa plus 3.5, and Fresno State money line. In CFL, I'm going to move on the over 43.5 in Hamilton, Edmonton Elks. Hamilton, Edmonton Elks. And we're going to let Jose put a bow on this show. But before we do, I just truly want you guys to know that we have absolutely nothing without your support, your humor, your insights. It is the chat that makes this show special. And we just are so thankful you guys run with us. Top shelf plays, Nathan Cerna. There's Darryl in the house. Razor sharp picks.
Whirl.
Razor sharp picks on a 43-1 right now. 2 minutes to post at Belmont Race 3.
Uh-oh. You know what that means.
Oh, no. That means we're going. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Jim, so hold on. Before we go,
Sure.
I'm obviously dressed up for a reason. It's about to be Halloween. What are you going to do for Halloween? What do you dress up for Halloween? Or are you just going to say, "Oh, fucking dress up. I'll fucking Jimmy the bag." Blah blah blah.
Well, you bring up a fascinating point, and
thank you.
Men don't dress up as much as boys.
Say that to my face, please. Say that to my face.
So
I'm not laughing.
I can tell you, Ella is Peppa Pig. Ella is Peppa Pig.
Yes.
So Ella's Peppa Pig at her school right now. I'm going to move over to this Belmont spot. I don't have a costume planned, but you have inspired me. You have inspired me. We are 3 minutes to post here. We are going to do a montage here at the end, but we're loading up into the gate right now. Who is it?
Fuck yeah.
Who is it? What number?
It is the
4
horse.
The 4 horse.
Venus.
I
can't pronounce the other name.
It's 50-1. Jesus H. All right, I'll put a small little.
Fuck it. I guess I'm doing.
I'll put a small little, just $7 across the board.
Why not?
Venus Oizo, little $7 bet across the board on the 4 Venus Oizo. All right, I got it in, and we are off. I got to see what Venus Oizo has done out of the hop, sitting in second last. Maybe that's where he wants to be. Maybe that's where he wants to be. 7 furlong dirt race. Venus Oizo sitting second place. We do have Lady Valentine, your favorite, at 1-2. Now, Venus Oizo relaxed in the back right now, very calm, comfortable. The little dirt in his face, doesn't seem to enjoy. The opening quarter was 23-2, 23.44. Venus Oizo is about 25 lengths. He's out of the picture. He's out of the picture now. Oh, there he's back in the picture. Venus Oizo trying to move fluidly here. He's out of the picture again. He's not in the picture. He's not in the picture. Can he storm into this picture? Venus Oizo, here he comes. Here comes Venus Oizo, a ground-saving trip. He's along the rail. He's about 12 lengths back, maybe 15 lengths back. He's sitting comfortably in 6th spot. And it's too bad because the 1-2 favorite's nowhere to be found. The winner will be Join the Dots. Johnny Velasquez in the irons. A 5-1-7-3-6. All right. Look. Sorry, I didn't put this in here. Look, were we going to get the glory of a 50-1? Anytime Razor gives us a 50-1, I will bite. I will bite. Thank you for your effort, Razor. Thank you for your effort.
So Jim, hold on. By the way, before we go, sure. I know you want to get out of here without getting a commitment. I mean, we have a show on Sunday. I believe that is, in fact, Halloween. You gonna dress up for me then?
I can give you this guarantee, 100% guarantee.
Oh no! I don't like where this is going.
I will never dress up for you in my entire life. You never need to ask me that again, because the answer will always be fuck off. So that's first off. Secondly, I do not plan to wear anything for our big Halloween show, but it would make sense to do something. I do not think Michael Evelina says dress up as John Gruden. A Mafia Gambler says Jose's feelings are hurt. They're not. Maybe that's why I put the mask on.
Well, I was feeling too seen, so I had to pull it down a little bit.
Jose, I respect that you have, as I said before, brought levity to the show, man, and you do a great job producing. Very, very thankful to roll with you. Do you want to introduce the next segment?
Oh, okay. I was going to say, what's the next segment? Well, yes, we have a montage. So I was about to do a French Canadian accent or just my shitty, but you were going to call me a racist and then kick me out. But I guess I'll have to turn it on here. Hold on. Let me fix it. One of the rules we have in the show is you're allowed to be racist to the French Canadians. Oh, oui. Is that what we do here on Jimmy the Bag and Betting the Bag? I don't know what that accent went to, guys. But all right, everyone have a good week. Have a good weekend. Jim, do you wanna join?
I want to see you do it. Let's give your first leche, man.
The first? You kidding me? You say my first? I'm a seasoned veteran of this game, Jim. Leche los.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers?
All right, man. Jimmy the Bag, what is up?
I'm very excited to be here with this Thursday card.
We're going to talk NBA, thank God. Ski Prophet's going to be joining us.
But it will get a lot more exciting right now. Our special guest today is an old friend who we've had the pleasure of capping with for a long time. He was the winner of the first ever Low Shack in the Bag trivia contest. Ski Prophet in the house. Ski, what's happening, man?
Hey, man, Low Shack was looking real fresh. He took his glasses off. Maybe I have to try and keep up.
Hey, Ski, how about we make a bet? Ski?
Talk to me. Let's do it.
He already owes me a steak dinner, by the way, Ski. He owes me a steak dinner.
Steak dinner again. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm down. You just tell me what we're betting.
Spurs plus 2.5. You can to take the 2.5 with your Lakers, steak dinner. You can come along on this steak dinner that me and Jim are going to have, so we can make it even more weird.
Even more weird. What's going on? What the hell? How's it going to be weird? You're going to be on E, Jose? I mean, I don't think it's going to be weird at all. Ski, do you want to make...
Sports bettors, day in and day out, think that like going out to dinner with your friends is weird. Really weird. What kind of wackos, weirdos do that?
Wow. Ski Profit bets every game on the board and goes 5-0. Let's not sell our next guest short. Coming off a 3-1, 2.4 unit day, the pride of Long Beach, California. Wham Bam in the house. Wham, what's happening, man?
What's up, man? Yeah, it's hard to follow up Ski, bro, but I'm trying to get to it as well, man. I ain't mad at him, bro.
My God. Does any show have better NBA experts? Does any channel have better NBA experts than Pub Sports Radio? Wham Bam came on the show and went 2-0 with a push. It brings our NBA experts record to 17-4 plus 13.28 units, which is just unbelievable. He went 6-2 on our show. What a boss, the Mr. Freshest. Gee.
Yeah, man. Jimmy the
Running hot.
motherfucking bag.
I'm moving, so there's a lot going on in my life, but no matter what, every Tuesday I always look forward to this Jimmy the Bag. But right now I feel confident about my picks and opinions.
We know he's the straw that stirs the drink. He's a Russian. When's the last time you saw like a Russian that was just like like a pussy ass bitch? I mean, you just don't see them. The Russians are Sunday night over was glorious. Their penalty killing is 35.7%. I've never said that out loud at any point on any show I've ever done in my life. And Slatsy says, have you seen who's running the Canucks? Look, I despise Benning, Slatsy. You know that. You know, I don't want to see anyone get beaten up, except for his dad. I would like Benning Vancouver right now. Maybe a ski mask, maybe a little Nancy Kerrigan and run away. Because Taylor Hall should send Krejci 2 or 3 mil. More than that, but you know, he's a cheap bastard. He should send Krejci gifts every year. That's who Taylor Hall is. He's a lollygagger. Not only lollygagging on the ice, he's lollygagging at home in his bedroom. Bum Taylor Hall. Nate Dogg says, come to Hamilton, Jimmy. No, I need, there's certain things I need. I need to be close to professional sports. So there's only 2 cities in Canada, in Ontario. I should say 2 cities in Ontario that I could move to. That's Windsor or Niagara Falls. And that's imperative. And then I need a major casino. And so that's all I need. I need a giant casino. I need professional sports teams. And that only gives us 2 cities, Niagara Falls and Windsor. This is the plan. And this plan could be ditched after 1 game. Personally, I might just go right back to Nico Dawes. And there's Nilo, work in progress. There's my real estate agent right there. I will see you backstage. I'll be watching. And Eklund playing tonight with Hurdle and LeBanc, says Matty I. Thank you for sharing that with us. Andrew and Rosa Lilio Jameson says, I've been a big fan, my bro. You're the best. Aloha from Hawaii. Thank you so much for sharing that. That puts a big smile on my face.
A little taste before we get into Slapshot. I think my favorite quote of the movie is easily skating around. Suzanne sucks pussy.
Let's hear from our man Jose Bouquet. Jose Bouquet, movie reviews. He's seen the movie Slapshot. Take it away, Jose.
I'm gonna flash him, Joe. I'm gonna wiggle my dick out, and then he proceeds to wiggle his dick out for the fashion show. Jim, have you ever flashed and wiggled your dick out for a full fashion show?
Yeah, I often before I became, the family man that you see now, I had my dick out all the time. We are about to pop off here for the first race at Keeneland. Dennis Garcia has given us the 1-horse dirt at Sweet. Oh, sorry, my legs get crazy when I start betting horses. And we're off! Hour 1, Shio Shi's in a very dangerous spot, a ground-saving trip on the rail here, sitting in 5th place, about a length and a half off the lead. The opening quarter was 22.62, a 22-3. The one looks like Shio Shi's got a lot of horse. He's looking for room. Find that room, Shio Shi. He's looking for room. He's just not getting any room. He's trying to find it. Come on, find the spot. Find a hole. Now he's gone all the way to the outside. God damn, is this going to cost us the win? Is this going to cost us the win? Push, Shy! Push! Come on, the favorite. The 3 is up front. Here comes Shy late. Catch him at the wire, Shy. Push it, baby! Push it! Push it, and we cash! We cash! There's $100 for you and you and you! Actually, it went down to 7-2. And Nutflush Allen says, I want to know if you will cover my speeding ticket that I just received in the Pepsi truck. When you called that horse race, I got so pumped up I took the outside lane and put the pedal down. No, Nutflush, no. Nutflush Allen says, Jimmy, scroll up. Says, 911 Officer Reed said, with 27 years of a clean record, he has given me a warning. Gave him a shout out. Officer Reed, that's part of the warning agreement. Thank you, Officer Reed, for being so good to our Nutflush Allen.